Welcome to the Fire-Breathing Kittens, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons podcast. Don't worry about if you picked up this episode first, because it's standalone. You can listen to this podcast in any order you want. Today, we are joined by Sinclair.
Hello there, I'm Sinclair. I'm a half-elf warlock who recently has found themselves to be in a bit of a bind regarding their soul and obligations. Everything's fine and normal. My hair is currently looking just perfectly normal and fine, black and an undercut. Don't look too closely at it, please. I have a normal build, average height at about 5'8", and my left eye is hazel while my right eye is blue.
Jade.
Hello, I am Jade. I was asked to do a character voice because you guys love suffering. And to tell when I am in character or not. So this is breaking the fourth wall a little bit, isn't it? I am a paladin. Level 2. I have red skin, specky horns on my forehead, and eyes with no white, just black. And I'm 52.
And of course, Claudio.
Hello, welcome. I am Claudio. I am a Tabaxi Ranger. Standing at about 6 feet 5 inches. I've got beautiful green eyes. I have orange and brown fur. And, you see my bow and arrow kind of hugging on my back.
Awesome. Now that we have everybody together, how are we doing a normal day at the guild hall? Anything out of the ordinary? Or we're relaxing in the open bar space that we call home?
Well, Sinclair is spending a little more time on their morning routine than they are used to. No reason in particular. They just want to make sure that everything looks fine and dandy. No blemishes on their skin or strange colors in their hair. Nobody wants that. When they do finally come down, they're wearing their usual attire of, a nice suit and vest. And ordering some tea at the bar. Just to keep a level head.
Awesome. Claudio, what are you up to?
Well, I am just looking for my friends at the FBK hall. Just strolling around, looking for anything interesting happening. Nothing unusual about my day so far.
Alrighty, so as you enter, you see there's a couple notices on the board, but nothing too out of the ordinary. Jade, where do we find her?
Jade is walking into the bar, and she sees Sinclair, and she sees that he is touching up his makeup. And why am I doing character voice for this? And she... I'll learn how to do this one day. She notices nothing amiss, right? Should I do a perception check? Do I notice anything weird about Sinclair?
Well, now that Sinclair's grown a little stronger as a warlock and they have access to some invocations, they have taken Disguise Self as an invocation that they can permanently have on, more or less. It's a 1-hour spell that lets me alter my appearance, unless somebody wants to try and peer past the illusion. They can make a roll against my spell save DC.
I think just casually walking into the bar with no reason to be suspicious, it would hold up under scrutiny, like at a casual glance.
Yeah, I don't see all the markings. I don't go like, ah!
Yeah.
Yes, no, I don't look like something out of a body horror film just yet.
No Cronenberg's here.
No, everything's fine.
But, you also spot Claudio as well, and you will sort of all, make eye contact as everybody's more or less arriving at the same time, and the hall seems to have suddenly filled with people.
And is there anyone else here?
Of course the barkeep is here. You hear some shuffling around upstairs. So people are in the building, but currently the bar is more or less empty. It's just before dinner time, so, people are either not home yet or have gone out to, start doing nighttime activities. But as always, there is the bounty board.
Claudio will go ahead and look at the bounty board.
Cool. As you approach the bounty board, you see there's still a dragon hunt poster up. That one is just far and away much too difficult. But you see that there's sort of a gilded, it looks like an invitation almost, but it is a request for performers. There is a gala this evening at the Nicomoy Museum. They're opening up an orrery, which is sort of like a model of like astrological bodies.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and snatch it. And, friends, have you seen this? And I kind of just yell across the hall at, whoever, is kind of listening. It looks like they're looking for performers at the museum.
What kind of performers? Magic, instrumental, dancing?
Does it specify?
No. It does have like a free season tickets to the museum, as well as like a free night's meal. You kind of get the feeling like a lot of these were passed out with like, no real specific thing required.
It doesn't really say, but, well, I mean, I love, showing what I can hit with my bow and arrow and, making a little flair out of everything. Plus, it's a free museum entrance. I've only been there once before, and I didn't get to see too much of it.
It certainly sounds like it could be a fun night. And if the food's decent, a prosperous one.
Cool. So, Jade, how are you feeling about it?
Let's go. I would love to have season tickets. I can give them to my daughter or my sons. They will both hate them. They hate everything. Oh, kids.
Cool. So, you guys head off. Claudio, you said you've been there before, so if you'd like to lead the way, feel free. And
I think I remembered it's this way.
Perfect. You guys have a moment to chat amongst yourselves. If you have anything to say, any preparations, if you want to get like an act together perhaps, or something to that effect.
Okay, so I'm sure you guys are members of the guild, but I haven't met you guys yet. Well, what do you guys do? I explained kind of what I do now, but what about you?
I have a new sword. I can hit things. You can throw things at me like tomatoes, and I can chop them in half.
Oh, I like it. I like it. Tomatoes chopped in half, tomatoes shot at. Okay, and you, mister?
Oh, well, I'm quite good at sneaking and tumbling and regaling people with stories. If we're doing a bit more of a physical thing, I suppose you could throw stuff at me and I could make a point to dodge out of the way, or if you're trying to shoot things, give me some cards or small targets and I'll throw them in the air with the dramatic flair. Just, don't
Okay.
shoot Malachi.
Okay, you sound like the director.
Yeah, exactly, your hype man.
Okay, good.
I like how we are all preparing for failure. If they start to throw tomatoes at us, we have a plan. You dodge. I cut.
Oh, I can run away real quick.
Excellent. Succeed or fail, we are set. Let's go.
Cool. So you guys, discuss it, get some good, like, moves down as you take the, maybe 15, 20-minute walk uptown to the museum. And as you arrive, the sun is just almost completely set. There's still a touch of daylight, the orange sky above you. You see that, indeed, the museum is ready for a proper gala. There's large, spotlights filled with, sunstones, projecting up into, the sky. There's people, artificers tinkering with, different magical effects of, dinosaurs and ancient wizards, coming to life for a moment illusionarily on the grounds before the museum. And you also see not so much a single file line, but, the standard museum steps going up to a raised, rectangular building. The stairs are kind of filled with different clusters of performers. Some are in costume, some are not. And you're definitely in, the right place. There's other people who have probably got these flyers.
Okay. Does it look like there's a line to get in or are people just performing out in this area?
You see there's not a line. You think this is people, like, practicing and things like that. You probably want to go into the museum proper.
Okay. I'll kind of just, keep on marching up ahead. I feel confident in us, that 15-minute talk. We've got this, we're going to do great.
Awesome. You enter into the museum. You see that there are, like, display cases of various, like, artifacts or, like, pieces of art. You see a large, like, map in the front to, like, direct you around the museum and the different attractions. You see a small table, like, sort of set up in the hall with a clipboard holding elf, like, checking people in. You see there's no, like, formal performance area. People are just kind of doing their acts in front of the table.
Do we approach this person?
In my experience, if they have a clipboard, they're important, or at the very least, know someone important.
Okay, you go ahead and approach them. I'll be right behind you.
Hello there. My name is Sinclair. I'm a representative from the Fire-Breathing Kittens, and these are my associates. We're here because we received an invitation to perform.
Oh, Fire-Breathing Kittens. Awesome. You see it's just like a young elf man in, like, sort of, not like noble's clothes, but like business casual fantasy equivalent. Scribbles like a quick note on the note board. He goes, all right, just names real quick, and then go ahead and do your act.
Well, I'm Sinclair, as I said before.
Mm-hmm.
I am Jade Rollin.
And I am Claudio.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, go ahead and perform.
Jade takes out her sword. It's very shiny because it's brand spanking new. She lifts her sword into the air, and then she takes... Oh gosh, what of my things do I want to destroy? I take my horn up into the air. I throw my horn of the city guard of Nicomoy up into the air, and you all think I'm going to chop it. I catch it on the tip of my sword, and the horn spins around on the tip of the sword, and I, like, say, "Finish work with the sword!" And then I flip the sword and catch the horn on my belt buckle.
Okay, cool. So just give me a roll to hit,
Okay.
and then a performance on top of that, which, if you hit, will either give you advantage or disadvantage.
The first attack I ever did with a longsword was on my own horn. It says attack bonus equals plus strength plus proficiency. So that's a 19 to hit.
That's a hit.
Okay.
As you say it, it is done. You catch the horn on the tip of your sword, impressively, like, doing a little spin. So go ahead and take your performance at advantage.
Well done, Jade.
That's a 9 with advantage.
So, like, the person behind the counter is, like, fairly impressed. It's like, well, I mean, yeah. If you got some more tricks like that, feel free. We'll put you on the roster.
My teammates, they have so many tricks. I definitely blush because I'm a little embarrassed that it didn't go over as well as I wanted. I, like, step out of the way.
Please, Mr. Claudio.
Yes, okay. Give me one moment. So I turn to Sinclair and I hand him 3 little bells that have, like, little ropes attached to the end. On the count of 3, I want you to throw these up in the air, okay? All at the same time. Got it? Just like we practiced.
Yes, exactly, just like we practiced. Yes, of course.
We practiced in our heads. It should be good.
Oh, right, of course, the telepathic practicing. Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so I notch up my arrow, right? And I have, like, 2 in my hand ready to, quick draw. So I have 3 total arrows in my hand ready to shoot. 1, 2, 3. And I just take 3 shots.
Cool. So, same deal. Just go ahead and throw me an attack, and then we'll go from there.
I'm scared. I mean, do I have to say this number? Because it's a 1.
Okay. So, not only do you miss the bells, but it, slams into a display case, nearly damaging an artifact and definitely setting off an alarm spell. Like, there's enough workers around where, nobody thinks you were trying to steal it, but it is deeply embarrassing.
Oh, we didn't practice it like this? I'm sorry. Oh, God.
So, just to be clear, you're going to fire arrows in the museum.
Well, that was the idea, but to hit the bells, not any of the display cases. I'm just, I've never been to a museum before, so I'm a little nervous. Cats don't like museums, It's like water to us, kind of.
Okay, so give me a persuasion check with disadvantage, please.
Okay.
Maybe he'll take pity on you for at least the idea.
Disadvantage, okay, that's 18. Oh, good. Okay, 13.
Okay, let me watch your last friend, and we'll take it from there. It's okay. Can we get somebody with a mending on that?
I am so sorry for Claudio's little mishap. I just think that they want to knock a few things over and just get it out of their system before your gala this evening. Don't worry. My trick does not involve any sort of weapons being thrown or skewered through objects. Pick a card.
Oh, how novel. He picks a card.
All right, don't tell me what it is. Don't tell me what it is. All right, I have it in my head. You can put it back in the deck.
All right. He raises an eyebrow.
Now, I just want you to know, I do not know any divination magic at all, but I'm going to be able to tell you what card it was that you pulled.
That would be very impressive.
So, what kind of skill check would you like that to be?
Give me a sleight of hand, because I assume you're doing this with, sleight of hand, like the technical definition, I guess.
Yeah, yes, literal sleight of hand. I need to put this dice on a timeout. That's an 8.
Okay.
Could be worse.
What was it? The Jack of Diamonds.
No, it was not. Can I get a performance to see if you can save this?
Of course it wasn't the Jack of Diamonds. I knew that. It was really a fickle die. 7.
All right, gang.
The Joker.
I'm gonna be honest. I really feel for you guys. I cannot let you perform in good faith. It was a real mixed bag with you guys. What I can do, if you guys want to put on your fancy clothes, I can give you free tickets to the gala tonight. It is a pay bar, but, I can at least get you free tickets for today.
To be fair, you can't say this wasn't entertaining to see us succeed and fail. It was drama all in 3 acts, to be honest. I mean...
Yeah, I absolutely think your presence at this event will be beneficial overall. As long as you're not actively trying to impress people. You just seem like a delightful bunch.
I appreciate that.
All right, gang. He fishes through his pockets, and you see, he has, basically, a ream of raffle tickets, and, takes 3 off, and go, all right, here's a +1 for you guys, just in case. Have a great night. I'll see you there, maybe. Next.
Well, I think that went pretty well.
I think our career as performers might be a little short-lived. Claudio, I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
You have to start from the bottom to get to the top, let me tell you. So, we've got our names out there at the very least, so get ready for a big comeback.
I'm kind of glad I don't have to perform, let's be real.
Oh, but you did the best out of all of us. I'm
9.
Well, you actually succeeded. You didn't shoot one of the display cases. You didn't pick the wrong card twice.
Now, what if I said I wanted to hit the display case? The bells were what is called the misdirection. No?
Well, then this night is a success.
Yeah, good. Let's check out the gala.
Now, DM, what is the dress code for tonight?
Gambison and chainmail?
A vest and some trousers, because that's all I've got.
Oh, my entire wardrobe's a wave of the hand away.
the dress code is, like, formal. It's a gala, like, one should be dressed, like, formally, at the least, if not impressively.
So black tie.
Yeah.
Black Gambison?
When does like most of the... Do we have time to go back and change and then come back?
Yeah, like I said, it's about a 20-minute walk. We'll say the gala wasn't going to be for another 2 hours. So you got at least 2 hours to kill. So I guess an hour and 20 with travel time.
Tell me, Jade, tell me. Have you ever been to a very formal event? I understand you used to be a town guard. I'm not sure what sort of holiday events they might have for city employees.
I have been to the Christmas party every year. At the longest night of the year, we all drink a lot of alcohol and never talk about it again.
Okay, so that probably doesn't even qualify as business casual. Do you wear your gamison?
Oh, yes. My chainmail armor, it costs more than all of my other items put together. It is, out of character, it's 75 gold for chainmail armor and 30 gold for fancy clothes. So, no?
No, I will allow it.
Yay.
There's plenty of military types that would arrive, with a fancy cape on over plate mail. So, a nice set of chainmail. I would see no reason.
Yay.
So military dress uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll have my Jade makeover shopping trip some other time then.
Sinclair, you mentioned something about the black tie. I don't have a black tie. I think that's all I'm missing for my outfit. I should be good with just this vest and some pants, like these trousers. So,
Oh, I'm definitely picturing Tony the Tiger, the bipedal tiger, just like, but dressed up. What are you wearing? You wearing...
yeah, I'm just wearing like a vest and some pants.
That's great.
Yeah, some cargo. You were just doing... I fell for the punchline.
Well, black tie doesn't necessarily mean you need a tie per se. It just means you need to dress to impress, as though you were meeting the mayor of Nicomoy, for example, in a formal event.
I would meet him like this. I don't. Maybe just missing a tie.
A tie, perhaps, or
Do you have a tie?
Oh, I keep my wardrobe in my head, just to accentuate the fact. Sinclair does a slight wave of their hands, and they go from what they're currently wearing to wearing a toga.
Ooh, nice.
Toga party.
All right, so it sounds like we more or less have this outfit in line.
I have an out of character question. I do possess one uniform of the Nicomoy City Guard that I like. It's only 2 gold, but it's a uniform. I don't know what. Does it have a tie? I don't know. Can I take the tie off it and give it to Claudio?
Oh yeah. You could probably.
I don't know. What? We all take a moment to ponder what the Nicomoy City Guard uniform looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
146 episodes previously, and this has never come up before.
No.
I would assume... if you got chainmail from it, so maybe a chainmail...
No, chainmail was separate. I had to save up for this. Yeah.
My whole allowance.
So,
it's 2 gold, and it says uniform of the Nicomoy City Guard, and it was supposed to be my starting equipment, but let's really can't all afford that all the first time, so, yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to go with
I have a disguise kit.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, that's way better. Put a mustache on you, and then when you look bad, they'll just be like, we're kicking you out, and then, you'll be like, okay, you'll take the mustache off, and you'll come back. You'll be like, what, first time here? Just kidding.
Never seen a cat person before? Yeah, I'll use my disguise kit.
Well, I actually had an idea. Now, I'm not the most familiar with various types of ties that one might wear, but the one that looks almost like a ribbon, like, you have your normal straight ties, you have your bow ties, the ones that, at a southern debutante type thing that I think our DM knows what I'm talking about. Just finding a long ribbon and tying it up all fancy-like, and then...
Bolo.
Okay.
It's called a bolo.
Bolo. Be on the lookout.
Bolo.
So yeah, I'm sure you could fancy a bolo tie for him as well. And then if I could just get a quick roll on the disguise check. As you're not trying to, like, impersonate someone, you're just trying to look fancy in general. This is a very reasonable DC.
Okay, good. And bolo tie included now.
Okay.
Could I provide the help action?
Yes, I'll allow the bolo tie to be used for a help action.
What kind of check is this?
Oh, yeah. Disguise kit, let's do deception.
Deception? Okay.
Or actually, no, I believe the way kits work is you can add your proficiency check to a skill roll. So it's going to be...
die roll?
Even if you're not proficient in deception, you would still add your proficiency bonus to this one.
Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
correct, I think.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Help action, what does that do?
Advantage.
Advantage? Say no more, brother. Alright, 15.
Yeah. He looks very well put together. And, like, totally passable for a fancy event.
Meow.
Everybody's stunning. So, if you want, for the second time in the day, you can go ahead and head out to the museum again.
Oh, I feel
before
so
we
good
head out-
walking to the museum. Oh,
Before we head out, I'm going to put a little white bow tie, clip-on type thing on Malachi. Since he has dark feathers, the black would just, blend in. He needs to look fancy as well.
great choice.
He looks very dapper.
What an adorable void.
I do say, it feels great having to go to the museum this time without any pressure of performing. Now we get to enjoy the event, We have to pay for drinks, unfortunately, but, it is what it is. But, I get to enjoy the event. I wanted to perform before. Forget that.
Yes, now we get to be entertained instead of being the entertainers.
That's true. I like it.
Paying for drinks. What a strange idea. I don't think I have ever done that.
Oh my gosh, I'm playing my first charismatic character. Do we not have to pay for drinks, you guys?
I mean, generally, the way it's done is you make some sort of charisma-based check, and then you are gifted free drinks. Me, as the player of Tanager Goodfellow, professional drunk, I think I know a thing or two about a thing or two on this one.
Sinclair, you'll have to show me how that works. I'm so excited. Let's go to this gala.
All right, come on, honey, come on. We are going to have a great night.
Woohoo!
And get absolutely blasted for free, even though we said we couldn't.
I would shout girls' night, but we're mixed gender, but it's like, yeah, night out.
Cool. So you guys skip your way down to the museum. You see, like, if before it was a skeleton, this is a fully fleshed out event. All of the artifice and magical displays are working. There's literal, like, enchanted, like, lights floating through the air. There's, like, very soft colors, but in stark contrast to this beautifully lit pillar to the past. Inside, all of the displays are, like, perfectly illuminated, and there's even some, like, animated, like, illusions of the people inside of the battles, like, coming to life and being like, this is where 400 people died over a cow dispute. And all we have is this pot. That makes it important. Things like that. It looks like a very fun, like, evening. You see that there seems to be a mix of, like, 3 different groups of people. Very fancy people here for a fancy party. Scholars attending, like, the unveiling of the orrery. And, of course, entertainers, like, filling the halls, dressed in various costumes, juggling, summoning, like, illusions and stuff, but just, like, for fun.
Imagine being one of those guys.
Yeah.
So much pressure.
Does that make us the rich people than you guys?
Perhaps.
Well, one might call me rich right now, and I believe I do have certain obligations to try and find other rich folks at the moment.
Yeah, you guys can schmooze, and as I said before, there's also the directory of the museum, so I could tell you the exhibits that they have, like, rotating in and out for this season. But feel free to do as you please. This is just a fun night at the museum, and nothing bad will happen.
Sinclair, you must show me. Why is it that you are drifting towards these rich people? Are we going to perhaps get a drink out of our interaction with them? Are you going to take their money and use it to buy us drinks?
Yes. And nothing else.
Show me the way.
All right. Well, I suppose the mark I'm looking for, ideally, would be mid-30s to 50. And, obviously, the wealthier looking, the better. Would you like me to make an investigation check or a perception check to try and find an ideal person of wealthy means?
Give me an insight. Well, give me an insight or perception, because insight would trying to be able to like intuit who would be most susceptible. Perception would you can try to visibly perceive who fits the profile and seems wealthy enough.
We're going to go with perception because as long as Malachi's with me, I don't, suck terribly at that one.
The bird is flying around the museum.
Well, no, actually, it's a class feature. If he's perched on me, I gain a bonus.
Nice.
And with that bonus,
Let's see.
that is 15.
Awesome. So a 15, you see that there is a dwarf, probably like late 30s, reasonably like good looking, but looks very stern. And you see he's like drinking like a fish.
Is he with anyone?
No, but he does seem to be like looking around a lot, like perhaps waiting.
This is where Sinclair, the player, has to admit that they have no experience schmoozing at bars.
Jade, the character, has no experience schmoozing, but the player does. I'm going to go with Claudio. Guide us.
That's the guy? Take out 3 daggers.
Yes, that's the mark. Please, show me what you have to work with before I, give some pointers.
Okay, here we go. I take out 3 daggers. No, I take out 5. Sorry. And I fan him out. I can walk up to the dwarf. Hello, sir. Pick a dagger. Any dagger.
Okay. Give me a persuasion. I'm not going to give it a disadvantage because there's enough entertainers here where this doesn't seem like a weird thing to do. But, give me a persuasion.
Persuasion? Say no more. 19, baby.
So, you look like you can see in his face he does not want to do this. But then he looks down at the daggers and kind of like picks it up and, did you say to pick one or pick it up?
Just pick one. Don't. I turn my head away. Don't. I learned this from someone I'm practicing. Okay. Don't show me what it is.
Okay.
Show it to everyone else. Okay.
All right.
Put it back. Did you see it? Did you identify it?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay. I start juggling the daggers.
Okay. Please give me a sleight of hand.
15.
Okay. It's a little rocky, but you totally manage to successfully juggle.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, you manage to juggle the daggers without injuring yourself. It's not so much the quality of it, but just the expression on your face is like giving away a little bit of how nervous this might be. And as you finish your performance, the dwarf kind of like gruffly goes like, okay, and goes back to drinking.
And then I toss all the daggers up in the air. I let all of them, like I catch 4 and I let one final one drop on the floor. And I just tell him, is that your dagger?
He like raises his eyebrows in surprise and goes like, yeah, that was my dagger.
Don't argue with guys with daggers. Yes, that was mine.
Thank you. Thank you. Claudio, the fire-breathing kittens. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Fire-breathing kittens. Okay.
Yes.
You like
who are you?
knives? You can call me Blitz.
Ah, Blitz. I don't necessarily like knives. They're a little too up close and personal, but I like to meet my people. I like to be far away with, arrows and, maybe darts and stuff like that.
You feel like he's not going to say much more to follow that up.
Oh, nice to meet you, though. Let me introduce you to my friends, Jade and Sinclair. Come on, guys. Look, meet our friend here.
Like, as you guys are walking up and you go to introduce, he just actively goes, no.
Okay, I thought that would work. I'm being honest.
Okay, like, he's sort of like, I'm not getting up, but I am no longer going to be a part of this conversation, and is just drinking, like, in the same chair he was in.
So we have ruled out. We do not do this method. We do another method. There are so many rich people here.
Claudio, that was fantastic. You're positive you have not done this before?
100%. I took inspiration from you earlier. I mean, I thought that trick was really good. I added a little flair to it, so...
You added a lot of flair to it.
Thank you.
And you probably got the attention of at least one other rich person, right? Can I do a perception check? I want to see who's looking at me. Well, Claudio.
Yes.
Who's looking at Claudio?
Please make a perception check.
Well, yep. 6?
You, like, look around and, like, confuse people being kind of, like, amused with, like, Claudio's thing as them, like talking smack or something like that.
Okay.
Like, you're like, people are looking, but I don't like the way they're looking.
Okay. Hey, I take both of my friends, and I just kind of go like, okay, we're going to go over to that room, and we go over to another room. And as we walk into the room, because, like, you get attention the moment you walk into a room, I say to, so Sinclair has probably been telling me a little bit about what they've been up to recently. He's been attempting to recruit some rich people to his Ponzi scheme. And, right, Sinclair? Yeah?
It's not a Ponzi scheme, because no one's going to fall for that. It's an investment opportunity.
Right.
And if they look like they don't want to invest in that, I come up with something else.
Okay. So as we walk through the door into this new room and everyone's eyes is on, who's walking through the doorway? I say, oh, good sir, that sounds like such an interesting investment opportunity. I will be in for 2,000 gold.
Oh, why, that is such a wise and generous investment. You will certainly see a large return on that very soon. Meet with me just a little bit from now, and we'll get that taken care of.
Oh, sir, I am so excited to invest with you. 2,000 gold. I will see you later. And then I walk away.
Give me a persuasion check, please.
This I can do. Please, dice, please. Oh, thank goodness. 23.
Whoa, knocked it out of the park. Yeah, you see that there is a firm, like, murmur around, like, the immediate area about the door, and you can tell some gossipy types, like, immediately go to the back of, like, this room. I'll describe it in a moment, but, like, to be the first person to tell everyone else about this guy who just came in the other side of the room.
Yes. Sinclair, take it from here.
All right, Sinclair, the room you're in is an exhibit called Memento Mori, A History of Death, and it is skeletons, funeral masks, sarcophagus, all manner of, like, the way that different cultures around the realm treat their dead. And, like, different, like, there's a small bit of it that's, like, the history of, like, embalming and, like, how different immortal cultures handle death. And it's generally, like, a very morbid but deeply interesting exhibit.
Well, I was going to say Sinclair actually would have a massive interest in this exhibit, considering their patron being Charon, the ferryman from Greek mythology, for listeners who may not know.
I'll say, like, even with, like, a few moments of looking around, you see, like, a, like, velvet painting of your patron, Charon. And you have a moment of like, oh, I know that guy. But yeah, and then it goes into a like brief history of like the way he's been worshipped, some of his acts upon the realm, like though they are very few and far between, as he, has a very important job to do in the cosmos, ferrying the dead. It speaks a little bit about the various churches and more largely cults that have worshipped or like sprung up around him.
Note to self, come back here once we're done.
Cool, but as you look around, there's plenty of other rich people, like, with you, a murmur about you.
So, I'm going to break my own little rule here and spend a little bit of money to get a drink in my own hands initially. You have to look rich to fit in with this crowd.
Perfect. What would you like to drink?
Oh, let's go with a Manhattan, or whatever the Nicomoy equivalent may be.
A Gishope.
Yeah, I was just going to say, there you go.
Barkeep, one Gishope, and give yourself a gold as a tip.
Oh, thanks. You see that they are 8 silver, which is, like, not much for an adventurer, but, like, for an average person, that is truly a gouge at the wallet level of markup. But, yeah, you get your Gishope in your hand, ready to schmooze.
I am going to find a group of, like, 5 or 6 well-to-do looking individuals, and just wait for an appropriate opening to insert myself into the conversation.
Yeah, you see basically a group of 2 scholars have gotten into a discussion with a bunch of, like, finance bros over the value of art. And they're basically having 2 different conversations at each other with, like, neither side even attempting to listen to what the other one's trying to explain. Where it's just like,
Classic. I
I don't know, man. I would pay $1 million for it. And they're like, you cannot put a price on memories. And he's like, I don't know, man. We could do like $7,500 for a spell, I guess. Like, what kind of memories are we talking about? Like, that is fundamentally not the way magic should be used. And just in a cycle. But you can tell by the clothes, like, these are rich folk.
Oh, God. So I'm going to approach. Gentlemen, you have it all wrong. Transportation of art is expensive for insurance reasons. I mean, these are one-of-a-kind pieces. It is, so time-consuming to have pieces commissioned. What if I could interest you in simply giving you the receipt, declaring that you are the owner of this artwork, and then, at a later date, if you're so inclined, you could sell that receipt and, by extension, the ownership of that painting.
Introduces the concept of NFTs to Nicomoy. Thanks.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Non-fungible tokens.
I'm going... Okay, so, no, you give me your persuasion first. And then I'm going to roll to see how each group reacts to this concept.
NFTs are now canon.
Oh, gosh.
I wouldn't be looking up bullcrap money schemes if it weren't for a certain Bonaventura. That is a 20.
Okay, that's going to be tough to beat. Okay. Scholars did a little better, and they're like, I'm going to wait till this idea stabilizes a little bit, and then I like what you're saying, though. Please give me your speaking stone rune. That's very interesting. There's something to be said about the value of money. And you see these scholars like start getting into a cycle about the value of something. And the finance bros rolled a 6. So they are instantly like, yes, I like it. It's all the benefit of having art without having to have ugly objects in your house.
Exactly. Like, would you like a banana? I can sell you a banana.
Or, what if, like, you just sold them the idea that they already ate the banana and then you keep the banana?
Precisely. You're getting it. You're getting it. And that's... Did you see my compatriot, my fellow investor, when I was entering the room? She just purchased the receipt for 1 dolphin.
Oh, she owns a dolphin. Do you sell dolphins? I want a dolphin. And one of the other ones is like, I'll take 2. I want to race them.
Well, I'm fresh out of dolphins. She bought the last one. What I have are 3 swordfish and a hammerhead shark, though. The hammerhead shark is the only one right now.
3 of them say swordfish at once. The last one says hammerhead shark, and they all look at him like he made the wrong choice. And he's like, He looks deeply shamed. So, conjuncting you fleecing them from money, for the terms of, like, your selling your soul, like, do you need them to sign a contract as well? Or do you just need to milk them for money?
DM of that episode explanation. The money goes to Bonaventura Halavi, and then the player gets, or the character that the player is playing gets 100 gold per level. And in-game, the character will receive 1 million gold every 15 seconds. Oh yeah, there's a copper falling on your head every 15 seconds for the next 50 years.
Literal trickle-down economics.
Okay, so as long as he gets the money out of them, right?
Yeah, but it goes to Bonaventura. Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was also like a soul Ponzi scheme as well, where it's like,
no, I'm not that evil.
Get in my Ponzi scheme. Okay. Cool. Well then, yeah, so I will do the math to figure out what an appropriate amount of money for you to fleece would be later, but fleece successful.
I guess you would give them a receipt that says Bonaventura Halavi on it. That's canon. Yeah.
Yeah, or like maybe a bank routing number or something. Like, I don't know. Just send your money here.
What do you get for NFTs, listeners? Tell us. Yeah. Do you even get a paper receipt for an NFT? You don't.
Tell us in the form of a 5-star review.
Yeah. In your 5-star review, let us know. What do you get?
I think that's all it is.
Yeah, please don't give us a 1-star review due to our lack of knowledge of, non-fungible tokens.
It's a learning process for all of us.
Great. Cool. So yeah, you see, like, as the words Bonaventura, like, take paper and, like, the symbolic act of taking their money takes place, just, like, for a second the ink on the paper flashes red, and you're like, okay, did my job. That will take a little bit of conversation, so with that being said, let's cut over to Jade and Claudio. What are you guys up to while Sinclair is schmoozing?
Claudio, I do not have 2 gold to rub together. These rich people are so fun to play pranks on.
Did you see me with the daggers? I think I did a good job, right?
He almost peed.
I almost had him too. Yeah, I got his dagger, trust me. He didn't believe me though.
Cool. As you guys are, like, chit-chatting, sure enough, across the room, you spy this dwarf walking, like, clearly with, but ahead of, like, at a quick pace, like a stunning Jessica Rabbit-esque, like, or like angel, divine-blooded humanoid. So tall, beautiful looking, flawless skin, and, like, flowing, like, blonde curls, like, put up in like a pinup girl style. She's in a red dress, like, blue eyes, and just looks like hell on wheels. And she's, like, kind of smiling and, like, schmoozing as she goes along, but is walking away with this dwarf.
This is a good time to explain that Jade is married. So
This is a good time to explain that
really care.
Claudio is not.
Oh, he cares. There we go. He cares. All right. Yeah, no, Jade's married. She doesn't really care. She's, she's got a wife already, so she's good. But I'm assuming, so Claudio, what happens?
While we're chit-chatting, I just jaw drop, stop talking, and I just look at her.
I look over there at her. I look at you. You look real dumb all of a sudden. I'm like, yep. Yep.
Tail's just flicking. And I kind of just... Do you know who that is?
Go find out. I like pick up some rotating waiter food. Like someone's walking through the room with food, and I'm just like, have fun.
Cool. You start shoveling canapes down.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Yeah. You munch down on eating Claudio. You see, like, they're not, especially the dwarf is not stopping to talk to anyone. But, like, you know, for a moment or two, this divine creature will, like, stop and, like, have a quick chat with someone. And then you basically see him start tapping his foot very aggressively, and she'll break it off.
Okay, so I'm slowly approaching them. Well, no, quickly, because they're moving fast. So I'm gonna quickly approach. Hi, yes. What is your name? Smooth.
She, like, smiles at you. You can call me, Rose.
Rose?
Rose.
I like it that you can call me Claudio. Nice to meet you.
She, like, takes a step forward, and for a second your heart skips, and you're like, I'm gonna get to talk to her, and then you hear the voice of the dwarf ring out. It just goes, late!
Time can wait, sir. We're introducing ourselves, okay? This is the start of something special. I can feel it. Pleasure to meet you, Rose. What is it that you do?
She, like, covers her mouth as she lets out just an adorable little giggle. The DM smokes too many cigarettes to pull out one of those. But, she very, like, coyly, like, gives you a polite smile and goes, unfortunately, time for this, must have to wait. And, she steps away and you see that they are moving deeper into the museum, into the exhibit called Petrification in Red.
Alright, so I noticed that they're going to that direction?
Yeah, that would be the next, like, adjoining room / exhibit.
Okay. I'm gonna find Jade because I don't want to go alone, and I think Sinclair is still, like, chilling, right? But I'm like, I would like to check out the exhibit, Petrification in Red. It looks really cool, you know.
Mm-hmm. I get some canapes to go and follow.
Cool. So you guys follow in. You can kind of, like, see, like, the crowds both, like, moving away from this couple as they're walking through people, and then getting more dense as people are forming, like, the outskirts of a circle, just like, I want to get a look at her, but I do not want to get too close because that dwarf looks scary.
I'm going to check on Sinclair as I'm walking past. Just, is he done with what he was doing?
He's more or less done.
Yes, that's exactly how it works. You give me the money, and yes, you will own the hammerhead shark. It is yours. But it will be in the water, but this receipt proves that shark is yours.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense to me. This is a reasonable thing to do. Yeah, it's always fun to make fun of new stuff. It's the same as making fun of Bitcoin, and now there's millionaires, you know?
Yes, so it's going to take a little time, unfortunately. That's how these transactions work. But I do have some money now for us to get drinks.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, we're going in that way, but first, drinks. Okay, so we
Yes,
both
exactly.
get... Ooh, this is one of those fancy places. You can try something you've never tried before, right?
Exactly. I tried a Gissup for the first time. It was delicious. Grossly overpriced.
Oh, I have never had one of those. I also tried the Gishup. What's the recipe, DM?
Ooh, okay, so if I remember my Manhattan...
Well, see, that's the thing. You can't get this wrong because it's the Gishup.
Okay, I know a Gishup. So I want to say it's whiskey, soda water, lemon. I think it's like, oh, fuck. Oh, sorry. Okay. It's whiskey, lemon, frozen tea instead of ice cubes, and 2 maraschino cherries on a skewer.
Ah.
I just went off book with it.
Dude, I like it. Okay, official Fire Breathing Kittens cocktail. You heard it here. That's the Gishup. And Jade is drinking one.
But what ratios?
Oh no, it's just if this DM is making the cocktail, it is all whiskey, and you just with just a spritz of lemon and whatever juice drops off the maraschinos, and then it dilutes. That's why it's tea instead of water. It turns into more of a drink the longer you take to drink it.
Oh, this explains why this is so expensive. It's high quality. I might get a little tipsy. And we head into the Petrification Hall. I clink with Sinclair. We've both got a dish open. Clink.
Nice.
Clink. The air in this exhibit is a little different. Even in the last one, Memento Mori, like that was all about death, there was still like a little bit of like a light party atmosphere. This hall, the central piece and the reason for this exhibit is a piece of a wall-sized mural, like a fragment of it that was like broken in long ages, that shows an incredibly lifelike human man, like older in age, long scraggly hair. He looks like a caveman, like almost primitive, standing next to like an equally naked younger woman, like looks to be maybe his like daughter or something. And that's one of the big topics of discussion like about this exhibit is like, who are these two people? What is their relationship? But the lifelike detail with which this was either carved or done magically is like truly terrifying. Like it's weird to look at, like you've seeing someone frozen in stone. But stone to flesh spells do not work. There appears to be nothing inherently magical about this. So the leading theory is that this was just an ancient artist in like, you know, the time when metal tools were still being figured out, carved something that like even magicians could not attempt to like replicate.
Quick question for the DM. Does there appear to be any sort of writing on this?
No writing, but like you, from just like looking at it and inspecting it closer, this is definitely part of a scene. Like there is a story in this the word's escaping me. Big rock statue slab.
It's
Mural?
a portion of a mural. It would be like the Last Supper only having 3 disciples.
I mean, this one is only 2, and it's broken off on both sides. So, like, you don't know how big this could have been, but it stands, like, with lifelike proportions. So, like, how tall are you? You're, like...
5'8".
5'8". So, yeah, you have to kind of crane your neck upward, like, facing the man. And it looks like at any moment he could jump from this red stone and attack you.
Fascinating.
But... yeah, so that gives this room a little bit different a vibe as people are, like, more emotionally reacting.
You know, technically we got some spells that exist, so this is out of character, that affect creatures but don't affect objects. And the player is wondering if any of those spells could be used to test whether or not these are creatures or objects. But as a level 2 paladin, that's not going to be me doing that. So if the party wants to try that out, you can.
Well, and I was asking about the languages because I have comprehend language in my repertoire.
Yeah. But do you have any spells that target creatures? I've got Thunderous Smite, but I doubt they want me doing that in the museum.
I doubt they want me Eldritch blasting things in the museum.
Well, you can Eldritch Blast objects. So what I'm saying is Thunderous Smite, only creatures can be pushed 10 feet away from me by the spell. So, creature versus object spell effects. So if you guys are curious, if you have any spells that affect objects specifically or creatures specifically, it's a way to test it. You know, I mean, rather than saying my stone to flesh spell isn't working, so therefore this is an object. Well, there might be something wrong with stone to flesh, or there might be some complications that are not known, but you can always test whether or not it's a creature. Claudio?
My eyes are on Rose.
Okay, all right. Oh, well.
Yeah, you do see her, you know, you're pretty much keeping pace with them, but they're still in the room.
Oh, wait. I got it. Okay. Can I touch it?
Would Jade know not to touch objects in the museum?
Yeah, but like, can I physically get close enough to it to brush up against it? Or will an alarm go off? Because I've been in both types of museums in real life. There's the, you know, motion alarms aren't set to this painting technically. And then, then there's the it will sound, museums. So, which is this?
Okay. I'm going to combine your knowledge with like town guard and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And what spell are you going to try to use?
Cure wounds.
Yeah, I'll say that from like guarding objects and stuff like that, that kind of spell won't set off any magical triggers, but like something like a disintegrate or like fireball like would,
Ah.
But having something with like they're like cure wounds is not going to mess up the art. So you think you should be able to get away with it.
Okay, I walk towards the painting to get close enough to it. Then I turn around with my back to it and continue to approach it, but at a like 1 step per every 2 minutes rate, with my back turned towards it so that it's like I don't know how close I am to it. And then once I can feel it, a creature I touch regains a number of hit points equal to 1d8 plus my spellcasting ability modifier. This spell has no effect on undead or constructs or objects. So, can I touch it?
You feel your spell fizzle. Like, that plan was good enough. I'm not going to make you roll for it.
Okay.
But, yeah, ultimately, you feel like the magic flow from your fingertip and just, like, pouring water on concrete. Nothing really happens.
Okay. So either they're full, or or they're an undead or a construct or an object. I don't know. Can I like hit it for 1 damage and do it again? just like elbow it. I just want to elbow it just a little bit. It's gonna hurt my elbow, but it's also gonna hurt the statue. Can I roll it to hit?
See, now I have to dust off my hardness like math, where I don't think your elbow is hard enough to break the to
chainmail, and I'm carrying a shield and a sword, eh? Huh?
Okay. Okay, I will allow it, but you do know, for like I said before, this is the type of things that might set an alarm off.
Yes, I'm gonna do it while turning, and here's the thing. Left elbow damage with shield, right? Left forearm is shielded.
Okay.
Right arm touches it to cure wounds. So I'm going to do 1 turnaround. Like, am I right near the statue? Like, whoops. And I want to damage and heal it. And I'm out of spell slots. So this is the end of me faffing around. Sorry, guys. I'm done. So I just want to hit it. I just want to hit the statue.
Okay. Yeah. I'll give me a strength check.
Okay. That was a 19 on the dice plus, I think, 5. Wait, what's my strength? Plus 3. 19 on the dice plus 3 is 22?
That will work for me. So you chip a fragment of this off.
It's okay. It's okay. Mending. Claudio, don't cry. Mending. If I really mess up, they can mend it.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna leave it up to the dice gods. Okay. I rolled an 18 on the dice. So I'm gonna say like the alarm goes off for a second. It makes a loud noise. One of the staff wizards sees that basically somebody fell into it. Clicks the alarm off.
I'm tripping.
You feel that. Once again, your spell fizzles and you've damaged art.
Okay. All right, I'm done, and I'm going to be quiet for like half an hour. Go ahead, guys. Enjoy your room. Must investigate mysteries.
Somebody comes up and the wizard comes up and it's like, he finds the chipped off piece, goes mending. Like, mending? And he just sticks the stone in his pocket. And looks around to see if anybody else saw.
Does that mean, wait, so did my cure wounds work?
No, it didn't.
It's an undead or a construct.
Or an object.
No, mending would have worked.
Or an...
Oh, yes, no. Well, yeah, yes.
Thank you. I'm happy now. I can rest happy.
Yes. There you go. So, as you just do the whistle walk away, Claudio, would you like to throw your romantic hat in the ring again?
Absolutely. My romantic dagger, please. Come on.
Yes.
You are the dagger through every heart tattoo.
Here. So eyes locked on her. A hunter's mark if I have to, I swear. I mean...
I want to give her disadvantage on all checks. Oof. Dating in D&D would be dark, man. You never know if someone's a changeling. What? That's a disguised self? I thought you had money. I'm magic. But yeah, no, sorry. Shoot your shot. Eyes locked on.
Yeah. So what is she doing right now?
She's sort of still doing the, like, it's almost like a parade where she's just kind of like waving to the crowds. She's trying to make her way. At the end of this exhibit, there's two big doors. One that leads to the orrery, like it seems to be the big focal point of the evening. There is also a separate room that is basically for the best of last season's display things. Before they go into storage forever, are like put on display here. So it's just called the display gallery. It's sort of like a final chance to get a look at these objects. She appears to be headed that way, where there is a bugbear guard in like very formal like guard attire that basically like unclicks a velvet rope and allows the dwarf and her to pass into this next room. But you would have a moment to like intercept her, but you can see the trajectory she's on.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna try to intercept her, and I'm pretty fast. I did try to catch up just because I'm very interested. All these people seem to know you. What is it that you do? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar.
Oh, largely I walk into rooms, and then people react like this. But by trade, I'm a weaver.
Okay.
Yeah, back on the farm, that's the only trade Mama would teach me. And you just hear people swooning around her.
Your weaving must be very good. I mean, they look at their reactions. I mean, what's some of your work? Is it displayed here in the museum?
Well, I mean, I did make my dress, and you see that like this is like made of like very interesting like material. And does appear to be woven, but like at a glance, you just thought it was like maybe like pattern cloth or something like that. But again, there's not much dress to it, so you know, it's not super elaborate. Just a standard like little red dress scenario.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to like continue the conversation while casually like walking alongside them, trying to like finesse my way into the room, pretending I'm part of the gang, you know. So like. So tell me, your mother taught you how to weave at what age? You know, what was it like growing up on a farm and just casually chit-chatting as we're making our way through the door?
You make it to the door, and she very, like, gently kisses you on the forehead and goes, I'll see you later, and then walks past the rope. And you can attempt any check you like, but you see this bugbear bouncer who's just, like, got his eyes on you, and, like, moves will not be taken at surprise in this moment.
I think I know when I'm beat. I'm just gonna take the kiss on the forehead for now, and like, see that she went into the display gallery, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And, can I get a glimpse into the display gallery from the outside? Like, what can I see from out here? Maybe another entrance or something?
Yeah, give me a perception.
Say no more. God, this die is being retired. It's a 1.
Oof. You don't see really much of a layout. You see real quickly like a glimpse of like a long table has been like placed. There seems to be 2 people already in the room, and entrances and exits, no, but there are high windows that lead to like a second sort of balcony floor. So if you went out and around, you could attempt to break into a museum.
Don't give me ideas.
You rolled a 1, so I'm allowed to give you bad ideas. And also narratively interesting ideas.
Okay, I'm gonna, as sad, I'm going to like pick myself up that I'm just like, and then walk back to the group and put on like, get ready to tell a grand tale of how I got her number, pretty much, when I reunite with Jade and Sinclair.
Perfect. Sinclair, is there anything you wanted to do, like, of note in this room?
Well, I was very, very taken in by the statue. The craftsmanship is impeccable. Is there anything else of note in here, or is this entire room just dedicated to Petrification in Red?
It appears to be dedicated. There are artifacts from different periods of time, essentially compare and contrast of, like, who made this and when. And sort of the accompanying pieces to this are all, like, it could be from this jungle continent in this period. And other scholars are like, no, it's definitely from this age on the other side of the world. Like, they only know where it's found, but even that is not totally in line. Like, where they found it, they do not think was the same location that it was crafted in. That little they do know.
So there's multiple pieces in this room?
Yes, like smaller pieces, like side dishes to the main course. So there's like a few statues of people in like similar red-colored stone, but like the artisanry is not quite the same. There's some with very high-quality artisanry, but made out of like marble and not this red rock.
Are all of them unresponsive to stone to flesh?
No, this is the only piece that is of its nature. The other pieces of art in this room were not found with this object.
So has stone to flesh been attempted on everything else?
I mean, it's sort of a matter of course when you work at like a museum and somebody brings you a statue. You're like, I just have to make sure that this isn't a petrified person and a wizard's not running a scam. And they'll usually cast a stone to flesh just for like a second or in an anti-magic field. And then the arcanic caster will be like, did my spell fizzle or was it the field? And like a good, like an art historian of magical nature would be able to like tell the difference between a failed spell and a fizzled spell.
So these are not people then. They're statues.
Yes, everything else in the room is normal, like, craftsmanship or done with magic in, like, a non-spooky way.
Okay. I was like, oh my gosh, we're in a room full of petrified people, but okay.
That is the fear of every museum.
Oh.
The PR nightmare alone. Oh, no recovery.
Right? You have to get adventures in because there might be a Medusa in town. It's very embarrassing for the institution.
Okay, good.
Yeah, would you like to make a history, insight, any sort of check on this to ponder your brain bowl? That's a thing people say.
At the vibrating curtains, it is.
What Sinclair will do is, I mean, they're certainly interested by Petrification in Red. They do enjoy scholarly pursuits, but if even these folks are, a little confused by it, they certainly are not qualified to weigh in on that discussion. But their schmoozing obligations to Devil's done. They do it out of necessity, not because they love it. Sinclair's other old habits, aside from academic, are kind of perking up. They can't help but be curious what kind of security this place might have, because Petrification in Red's a little too big to stow away in one's pocket. But some of the other items, perhaps in other rooms.
There is one other, well, aside from the orrery, it was sort of a left and right path once you first came in the entrance. I just assumed you went right. There was one other room you didn't see called A History of Animation, which is all about animating objects in various levels of sentience and sort of like magical animatronics, where it's like, I made basically like a person, but it's an object, and it'll move around and like do little dances, so it's a cheaper form of golem making. And they have like an inert golem pieces around, and just sort of the way that history and culture has, like, evolved around making a non-animated thing alive so you don't have to work.
So what I'm hearing is this museum, while it certainly is interested in historical artifacts, is more of a modern wonders of the current age.
Yeah, you could call that the theme for the season, then. It has various other topics that maybe are a little more scholarly, but, with the orrery coming out, they tried to diversify to get people in.
Still curious what kind of security they have.
Yeah. So you've seen, like, the guards around. They're clearly, like, noted with, like, little badges in case people need help or whatever. So the physical security is, I'll say moderate, not super high, but, like, highly trained, but maybe smaller in number. The security around the items themselves, based on what happened with the arrow earlier, and Jade's falling into Petrification in Red, like, these objects are pretty well locked down magically. And then that guard at the door that Claudio was going into sticks out because he does not seem to be museum security.
Well, I'm going to assume I saw Claudio strike out, as it were, and just give a little, I am so sorry you weren't able to get past nod. But as I walk past, I'll see what I can do to help you out. Wait for your opening.
Thank you.
Ah, hello, my good bugbear. How are you enjoying tonight's festivities? Have you tried a Gissup yet?
He looks at you with cold, unfeeling eyes and does not, like, respond in a meaningful way. Give me an insight. Or perception.
That's another 15 on perception.
There's something deeply odd about this bugbear. Like, they're not regular rude, and they're standing at such, like, firm attention that, like, you just get a weird feeling like you're talking to a wall.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't take something that would let me...
Sinclair took the spell tickle.
Do you have the material components of a feather?
Hey, Malachi, this is going to hurt. Hold still.
This isn't going to be the tickling podcast.
Or is it, listeners? Let us know in the reviews. Go ahead, Sinclair.
But what I do have is, taking a cue from a previous adventure, I will prestidigitate a sudden, blood spot on my chest. Oh no! What's going on? The old war wound! Help! Please! And fall to the floor, hoping that bugbear will help me.
He does not. Like, you see some people around, like, kind of, like, look concerned for a moment as you make a show of it. But, this bugbear, basically, once you fall down and his eyes kind of, like, notices the blood, he just kind of, like, looks back up to scanning the room. Like, you get the distinct feeling he thinks you're dead and he's satisfied with the result.
Hit 2? Bugbear? Then fall. Sinclair.
Claudio, not knowing any better, is going to rush to Sinclair's aid. My friend, what's going on? Did he hurt you? And I kind of just don't know really what's going on, and I just jump in.
Oh, no, I was simply giving my rendition of the final soliloquy of the dying emperor in Julius Gissup. The bugbear seemed to be an appreciator of the performing arts. Unfortunately, he seems unmoved. Just a show, everyone, just a show. I'm fine. I prestidigitate the toga to be clean.
Some people nervously clap, like, oh, okay, this is more of the entertainment.
Thank you.
Claudio, I think we can do anything here.
I'm starting to get that feeling, yes.
Yeah, this is a real party museum.
Is there anything you've always wanted to do? Because you can.
I can't think of it well.
Full disclosure, Sinclair, the player's a little worried this is a weeping angel situation.
I look at the statue.
It's Woo. No, just kidding. Woo, it's Doctor Who now. Cool. But yeah, you get away, you get a distance, like, you're not guys aren't totally out of place. You're definitely the wild kids in the room after breaking the statue and then fake dying and continually hitting on the hottest girl in the room.
We belong, yeah. Glad to let us in. There was no reason for them not to have.
Looks like we were entertainers after all.
Follow our dreams.
So, you've tested the security a little bit, Sinclair. Everyone's together. Would you guys kind of like to, like everyone else is here doing, cluster together and talk about your night at the museum?
Claudio, I saw that it was going so well for you. And then, this is our group. Obnoxious, but consistent.
Well, I mean, I don't like to kiss and tell, but, my forehead got the kiss, and I'm gonna tell, so it was pretty great. I was this close if it wasn't for that meddling bugbear getting in the way, quite literally. I am trying to get into that room. It seems a little suspicious. I saw some windows.
Well, I didn't get a look inside of that room. How big are those windows?
Big enough for us, at the very least, yes, I think.
Big enough, perchance, that a raven might be able to get inside?
I rolled a 1, so I'm going to say yes. Yes, I think so.
This is going to go well.
Well, what we can do is I can send Malachi on an errand, and assuming that room is relatively close to Petrification in Red, I can just tell him to head to the window of that room, and then I'll be able to work through him, as it were.
That is a great idea. Now there's a raven flying through the museum for sure this time.
Cool, so you let a bird loose in the museum.
He's heading outside. He's heading outside.
I did not intend for this adventure to be as, like, Willy Wonka in a museum. But, yeah. I love it. So you send out your bird. Oh, the windows for exterior. So you would have to send them out and around.
Yes, that's what I'm intending. Yes.
Cool. So you only, like, a little bit let a bird loose in the museum. Once everyone sees it goes out, they're like, we're fine.
It's probably sending mail or something.
Yeah. It's probably just a wall. Oh my god, those guys and their zombies, they won't shut up about it. Yeah, you see that your bird gets to the window and will be able to get it open, but is just having a real tough time with their beak. So you're like, I'll check back in a minute.
Oh, it is too bad we did not give the raven a dagger.
Yes, you should have got a knife in the bird's mouth.
I can tell you from experience, that does not end well. How do you think I got the old war wound that opened up?
That makes sense.
Malachi, no.
He is fickle at times.
Flashback to him on... Yeah, just knife on your chest. Give me the bird seed. Just give me the bird seed.
All right, Malachi, all right. I'm sorry.
All right, you know I don't like to do this. Drops the knife and flies away. Lays an egg. I do not know how birds work.
No, that sounds about right.
Cool. Would you guys like to check out the orrery by chance?
Oh, I thought it was behind the door.
No, that's the show hall, or the exhibition hall, or whatever.
Yeah, the display gallery.
Display gallery, thank you. So there is one last section, the piece de resistance, the reason for the season.
I will just quick give Malachi a parting message, because I have to be within 100 feet to communicate, see through him, all that fun stuff. Malachi, if things get hairy, find me here in the museum, all right? Stay safe. I love you. Mwah.
Aw.
He kisses you back, does the little... But cool. So Malachi's got his mission, and you guys enter into the orrery. And you see this is no regular orrery. It is a orrery of the realms. Different afterlife that have been arcanically mapped are like, this is our rough understanding of the realms in relation to each other. So it's this like very fancy sort of almost like mesh material that like overlaps on which planes connect to which planes and things like that. And at the same time, it's, you know, not moving at true like astrological time, but, you know, very like sped up the way that the planes shift and flow in astral space. And again, this is just one proposed theory, but it's also very, very cool to look at. So, well, that's always fun. It's a circular room with sort of like a pit with seats that like run around so people can look up and watch like space move. The planets and realms slowly like twisting, like twinkling starlights and different marbles of various sizes. And, Jade, you see your son Sasha here.
Oh.
There seems to be like a group of like school children, and him and a like human woman about his age are like kind of like leading a class on a field trip. And he's like, Mom?
Sasha! I did not know you would be here, but I'm so glad to see you. Are you doing something for your divinity coursework?
Yeah, like, professor said if I wrote a paper on, like, the orrery and, like, how different realms would, like, relate, like, theologically to this proposed version, it's like, whatever. And he, like, gives you a hug.
Aww.
How are you? What are you doing here? Are you working? How's your new club?
I will answer that question, but I also want to tell the listeners. So I am a red-skinned, horned, I got no whites in my eyes. This is a human 19-year-old boy. We don't look alike. And I'm like, my son. And you guys are like, what? Like, anyway, so, oh yes, these are my new friends in my club. Look, Claudio, Sinclair, this is Sasha.
Hello.
Hi, nice to meet you guys. This is, my, like, part we're teaming up on the paper together. This is, Zephyr. She, like, smiles and waves her hand and goes, like, hi, you've got a great kid. And he's, like, kind of, like, blushes a little bit.
Oh, well, please take good care of him for me. I will leave you to it. I don't want to embarrass you. And then I, like, pinch his cheek.
Mom!
Oh, you're so cute. Ever since you were a child. And I used to pinch your cheek like this. Oh.
He looks and, like, one of the kids is, like a little goblin kid is, like, gnawing on one of the seats. And he goes, Grobo, I said no gnawing. Sorry, Mom, I gotta watch these kids. And absolutely takes the out.
Yeah.
Like,
I know he doesn't want to hang out with me. I'm not dumb. I just like him a lot.
You, like, see Zephyr, like, gives you a big smile and is like, Grelbo, you really, really can't gnaw the seats. And, like, they're trying to pry this goblin who's, like, teething his real adult fangs.
I'm glad he has friends at school. Aww.
Yeah. Yeah, so, that's pretty cool. You guys are, like, enjoying the orrery. And then, Malachi gets the window open. You see, like, because you can communicate with them, like, are ravens the one that can speak a language?
Oh, he's not a familiar. He is, I could read the thing verbatim. I gain the service of a spirit sent by the ferryman Charon to watch over me. The spirit assumes the form and gains statistics of a raven, and it always obeys my commands, which I can give telepathically while it is within 100 feet.
Okay, well, at the very least, it gives a very, like, accomplished raven thought. And it's like, yeah, take that window, even though he doesn't say those words.
Oh, no, he's much more cursed than that.
Yeah, but that sort of microwave timer goes off in your head and it's like, oh, I should check on him. And you see that actually the man from earlier, who was behind the desk that you auditioned with, is standing at the end of a long table. Like I said, has been erected, sort of, so the exhibits have been moved away. You see that there are 5 chairs placed, but only 3 of them are occupied. You see that woman in red before Rose. You see the dwarf, but sort of like, he's sitting there eating a big plate of food with like a pitcher next to him. And then you see a very familiar person, the fellow you sold your soul to, the one who is trickling in coins.
I keep forgetting a coin is hitting you every 15 seconds in the head.
Could you remind me of his name? Because I definitely didn't forget, but I think the listeners might benefit from it. It's not Benvolio.
Well, at first I thought his name was Baron Ventura Harvey, but after entering his employ, I found out it was Bonaventura Halavi.
Bonaventura.
Which means good voyage, and is a classic Italian name. Let's not be racist on our podcast. All countries are welcome to listen to us. Make us number 1 in Italy. Make us number 1 in Italy.
Only you can do it, Italy. So I immediately forgot it. Thank God I wrote it down this time. Bonaventura is sitting there just like gleefully running a coin across his fingers. It seems like whatever meeting this is already in progress. And like I said, you see the guy from earlier. Did you catch his name?
The person we auditioned with?
Yeah.
No, we never caught a name. But if Malachi sticks around, I can see what he sees and hear what he hears while I'm within 100 feet. So as soon as the egg timer goes off, I'd be meandering back to a room in red. Well, technically, Petrification in Red. Just to get a better bead on the situation and see what I can glean. I'm sure my boss won't mind me, spying on his secret meeting with museum staff.
Cool. So what you can see and hear through your Raven, the person from before goes like, and as you can see, I think through the melding of our realms, we could align ourselves to get more accomplished than either one of our groups could do individually. I know we have traditionally in the past not really involved ourselves with each other's dealings, but I personally think that now is the time for this to end. And you see Blitz, the gruff dwarf, just goes like, if I have to listen to it, I'm taking it off. And he sort of peels away, not like his flesh, but the veneer that he was wearing. And you see that he is a very deeply demonic-looking red-skinned dwarf with candles sort of emerging from the crown around his head. As he speaks, flames lick out, and while he continues to shovel food and drink into his mouth, nothing ever reaches his lips. The woman in red is so uncouth. It's fun to wear a costume. Go on, darling. Keep giving us your pitch.
I love that she's not actually pretty. I like that she's... Oh, I love that you were hitting on that. Okay, keep going.
And I don't know.
So, I feel like I feel like I haven't properly expressed what we can do for you. So, we can conclude the meeting. Please tell the rest of your cousins what I offered. I'm so sorry they couldn't make it. But as you exit, let the display show what we and my court can do for you and your family. And the dwarf instantly throws his chair back, just very wastefully knocks the food and drink onto the floor, and starts stomping off out of the room. Rose gets up, walks across the table, Bonaventura also, and you see this guy is, you see him in his public persona that you saw him in last time. Like, he's already in character. And they start sort of making hushed words at each other. Like, just, your raven is up high in a window, and they're just talking at, like, normal speaking volume, and it's a little difficult to hear. Could you make a perception check if you want to hear the rest? Or would you like to act like and move around?
Well, I would want Sinclair to, as quietly as possible, just try and glide down, get closer, to be able to catch more of the conversation.
Okay, cool. Then can you roll me a stealth check for your bird?
All right. Would you like me to roll using my stealth modifier or find what a raven stealth modifier is?
Give me the raven one. And as you look that up, we're going to cut away to the people who aren't currently warging into their birds. And you guys hear like a commotion coming from the front of the museum. Harsh screaming sounds, like of terror.
Mm-hmm. All of us hear that?
Yeah, it's pretty clear, as like you would guess a gallery worth of people just went like, ah!
I look at Claudio, and I guess Sinclair is in a different room because we're in the orrery.
Well, Sinclair's kind of with you, but because the wording was a little bit vague, I assume when he's hearing and seeing through his raven, he's kind of like, focusing on that.
Sinclair isn't here right now. Please leave a message after the beep.
You're in the Petrification in Red room, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I look at Claudio.
Let's check it out. I mean, it could be Rose. She could be in trouble.
We dash towards the screams. In real life, I would never do this, but here I am, role-playing. I run towards the screams.
So you make it through Petrification in Red, and you see people are running out of both the History of Animation and Momento Mori.
Does Sinclair join us?
And
Sinclair!
Yeah, the yells would probably shake you out of your thing, at least be like, ooh, I should check on the other side. To the shrieks of, at the same time, zombies! The objects are attacking us! And we will deal with this problem after the break.
It's fine. Everything is fine.
We'll be joined, but it looks like our dear friend Sinclair has something to say.
Yes. We would love to get a review from you, preferably 5 stars, but honestly anything is appreciated. You see, we don't pay to advertise on this show, so we can only spread our audience through viewers like you. So, whether it's 1 star or 5, though again higher is preferred, we would love to hear it, and we'll even read it on the air in character if you like.
And joining us for their potential deaths, we had Jade.
Where's my kid? Oh my gosh.
Bump bump. Claudio.
I hope Rose is all right.
Bump bump. And Sinclair.
Flap wings, hide. What? Screaming. Oh, no. Sinclair. Malachi, you, be careful. I have to help them.
Bump bump. Thanks. Be right back.
We hope that you're enjoying this episode of the Fire Breathing Kittens podcast. Please leave us a review on iTunes.com. If you leave us a review, we'll read it on air. It's fun listening to the words of your review get read by the characters you know and love, so go to iTunes.com and leave us a review today. Can you think of someone who might enjoy this podcast? Please share it with them. Is their birthday coming up? A special anniversary? Would you like us to wish them a happy day on your behalf? You can arrange for us to read your shout-out on air at firebreathingkittenspodcast.com through our partnership with the website Buy Me a Coffee. Do you enjoy reading books? You can find paperbacks and ebooks based on our adventures on Amazon.com in the bookstore, Fire Breathing Kittens, that part's all one word, podcast. The authors do a great job of adapting the stories into fun novels. We also have official merchandise on Redbubble.com. Imagine owning a notepad with the Fire Breathing Kitten logo on the front, or a t-shirt with one of your favorite characters. And lastly, I'd like to take a moment to sincerely thank all of you. We don't pay to advertise this show, so the only way we can grow is through the support of listeners like you. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Fire-Breathing Kittens, everybody's favorite 5th edition standalone D&D podcast. We left our adventurers in a pretty perilous situation. Would everyone like to roll a quick dice so they can remind our friends about what happened?
That is a natural 20.
What? Pepperson rules.
What a waste.
Claudio, did you get a natural 20? Because if not, we got a result.
No. I got a natural 6.
Okay. Pepperson rules with a natural 20 you get to pick.
Oh, I would love to hear what our dear Claudio has to say about tonight's escapades.
From the beginning?
From wherever seems appropriate.
Okay, so the failed performers, us, the Fire-Breathing Kittens, have made their way into a... Huh?
Hey.
Well, we are for now. Made their way into a museum where we've explored all the lovely exhibits, got to meet people, made some deals, met the love of our lives, and, well, at least I did. And now we hear screams and shouts of zombies, and that's where we left off.
Alrighty. So in this perilous situation, we will first start off with the ending of the conversation being held inside of the exhibit hall. Through your bird ear holes, you hear this elf go like, so what do you think? Like, just between us. Do you like the offer? Bonaventura is like, I gotta be honest, my friend. I don't really see how it benefits me in the short term. What we're doing is going just fine. Souls and souls every day, coming over willingly. We're not like our parents. And you see Rose smiles and go, well, I like your offer. You people seem fun. It's a new location to visit. And, I mean, if there anything as striking as yourself, I mean, I can't imagine I wouldn't get along. And, you see this, like, elven guy just go like, oh, well, maybe as a gesture of good faith, if you like the way this looks. And you see he drops a shimmering glamour and takes the form of like a moth-like humanoid. Wide black eyes with like a pinprick of a white pupil, like wings, but very like elegant. Like, I don't remember if you remember that old Lunesta commercial where it was that like glowing butterfly that comes in the window. It's like that.
Yes.
Yes. That, but like person shaped. Like very tall, like easily over 6 feet, hovering around 7. And Rose just and covers her mouth like, you are darling. It like blushes. Go ahead.
Well, what I'm picturing from your description are the bug folks from Rick and Morty when they sprout wings sometimes.
Much more elegant, and like all of the plates like are very smooth. It's almost like mask-like and expressionless, and like insectoid, but like very well put together, almost like a picture of an insect.
Alright, I'm now picturing more porcelain doll with minor insect features.
Yes, that's the vibe we're going for. And you see there's just like a shimmer of like, sort of like a dust, a glimmer in the air. Almost like if you like threw glitter, but like micro glitter. It resumes its like more humanoid state and goes, well, I must be going. We've left the circles open, so just enjoy the carnage. I know that's what people, your family enjoys. And, they kind of like laugh to each other. And Bonaventura politely shakes his hand and then goes to the door. So you would know as Sinclair, like, he's going to be coming out of that door in any second. What everybody sees in that second, as we said before the break, is crowds of people rushing in. You would guess they weren't able to go out towards the entrance, but they're not staying in a room with zombies, so they just ran away. And the sounds of battle happening in both wings.
I think before we broke off, we were also headed towards the sounds of everyone yelling, right? That's where me and Jade broke off.
Yeah, it hasn't spilled over into Petrification in Red yet, so you'd have to pick left or right hall. Either
Jade.
The dead hall or animation.
Jade, what do you think? Death or life?
I take a deep breath. I sniff the air. I'm like, because divine sense is an action. And it says I smell it like a noxious odor. So, do I smell the undead?
Yes, you also, it reeks of fiends, as well as, can't you also detect, like, fey creatures?
Yeah, let me read this. Hold on. I got divine sense. So this is my first time using the paladin's divine sense. It says, the presence of strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor, and powerful good rings like heavenly music in your ears. So I just have tinnitus in church. As an action, you can open your awareness. I'm sorry. As an action, you can open your awareness to detect such forces. Until the end of your next turn, you know the location of any celestial fiend or undead, so it's not fey, within 60 feet of you that is not behind total cover. So I guess, like, it's not super useful to distance, but I assume that hallway smells bad. Meh? Like fart. Like vague fart.
Yeah, like vague fart. And then as the door opens and Bonaventura comes out of the door, that's when you would get the fiend smell coming from the exhibition hall.
Oh. My goodness, that man smells horrible. You need perfume. Blech.
So which way are we going?
Claudio wanted to go towards the danger.
There's danger in... Sorry, both rooms have danger.
Okay. Which room is my son in the last time I saw him? There we go.
He's in the orrery. So...
Okay, well, yeah.
Yeah, so one of these rooms need to be cleared for people to be able to get out.
Okay, I would head towards my son because above all else, right? Your family? So I gotta go check on him. I head through the fart room. Through the fart area to my son. Straight to son.
Let me explain this a different way. Picture, like, the letter Y upside down.
Yeah, I'm drawing this.
The top of the Y is the orrery. The bottom left is the history of animation. The bottom right is the Momento Mori. And the center point where they all meet is Petrification in Red. He's at the orrery at the top, so he's reasonably safe right now. But you also can't get out until you can get to the front door. So, like, you would imagine most of the people in the room ran out towards the exit. These are the people who couldn't get out of that room, so then they ran back to Petrification in Red.
Yeah. Okay. So we have some options. I'll just explain this out of character to Claudio, because I'm sure as trained professionals, these all occur to us. Okay, listing options. We can run backwards away from the zombies towards my son to, like, protect him, because my character has these, like, it almost reminds me of 4th edition Defender Guardian abilities where I can protect, it's called Interception in 5th edition. I can protect people that are within 5 feet of me, reducing damage that they take. Or we could head towards animation or Memento Mori, wherever the, like, undead smell is coming from, and try to just kill all the enemies. But actually, so looking at it, if we headed towards animation or Memento Mori, then I'm looking at an upside down Y, listeners. Either room that we choose would leave Petrification in Red unguarded, and that would let the zombies go right to my son. So there's only one right answer. There's 2 right answers. Don't move and stay here and hold the fort so that no undead can get to my son, whether they come from animation or Memento Mori, or head to my son in orrery. Not going to be able to ever say that word properly. And stand close to him, because as a 4th defender, I can reduce damage to people within 5 feet of me. So, Claudio, you are strategically trained, Fire Breathing Kittens member, and Sinclair's somewhere dealing with birds. Are you in Petrification in Red?
He is.
I believe I'm in Petrification in Red.
Okay, so we're all here. Yeah. Do you guys want to stay here in Petrification in Red and take on the 2 prongs coming at us, or head to orrery and stand next to my son? What do you think?
I would say
the death smell is coming from Memento Mori.
Okay.
Big surprise there.
Farts. I wrote down farts, yeah.
So
I would say we hold the line here.
Yeah, because whichever direction they come from, right? They got to go through Petrification in Red to get to... Also, I love the statue. That's a great idea. Okay. Claudio, staying here, okay?
Yeah, we'll stay. I'm not gonna fight it.
You can throw daggers or arrows at whoever comes through either door.
I'm happy with that.
Don't hit the exhibits unless you want to.
I think that's out that's off the table now.
Okay.
Well, wait. If we hit the exhibits, alarms go off. If alarms go off, guards get summoned. If guards get summoned, we get reinforcements. Hit all of the exhibits.
Okay. Oh, I'm sniffing. I'm using an action. I want to know if it's an undead or a construct. I'm in the Petrification in Red room. I sniff that naked ancient dude. And his daughter.
That's a sentence.
Do they smell like farts? They're not an object. If they're an undead, they'll smell like farts, and if they're a construct, they won't. What does it sniff like? Define sense.
You get like a very neutral, earthy smell that you know from your training means this is a construct of some sort.
Excellent.
Can you give me an Arcana check, please?
All right, that's +0. So that is a
Oh.
natural.
That was a what?
20. Natural 20.
A natural 20?
Natural 20.
Oh.
Oh, baby. Okay. So...
But I wait. I can roll it a second time because I don't want to just know the secret. It's a 6.
Well,
No, I do want to know the secret. Let's keep the natural 20. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it was a 6.
No, you said what you said. We don't fudge rolls here on this podcast. So, I mean, and it's not the craziest thing in the world. I mean, it is depending on what world you live in. But you realize that this construct is, like, in the way that a construct is a inert object that's been given life, you are like, this is some sort of, and especially processing it through a town guard's brain, this is a jail. This is like a prison. This is like a living something to keep something inside. Like, there's probably something in there, but much like, you know, like a chocolate Easter bunny with filling, like, that's how they did it so perfect, is they just melded something around a living thing.
Oh no! Whatever is inside there should not come out. Should not come out, no.
Yeah, and again, you like, even in the throes of this battle, it almost provides perfect background music. You're looking at this terrifying feral human, and then just hearing screaming in the background.
This is ominous. I don't like it.
But okay, so that being said, you guys are going to hold the fort in this room then, or what was the plan we were going with?
Yeah.
That.
Okay. So, a few minutes go by, or not a few minutes, like honestly probably about 30 seconds go by, like 5 rounds of combat, and you hear the noise quiet down from a history of animation, but you get a distinct feeling that's not necessarily a good sign in that room.
We let people die.
You continue to hear moaning and groaning. People continuously run out of both rooms every round, but the doors are only so wide. You hear a real good fight going on in the Memento Mori room. But as that happens, like, you're slowly seeing the guards being pushed out of that room, so it's like a losing battle type deal.
Well, that answers the question I had about the guards. But what about that bugbear?
Also you would see this. Good question. As Bonaventura exits, he makes eye contact you across this, like, incredibly violent scene and gives you a wink. There's just in the moment, you're like, Do I say something? Do I not say something? Like, do you want to say anything?
I would want to have a conversation, but I don't think he's going to stick around for that. Because, frankly, I kind of want to renegotiate.
Refinance your soul?
I'll scurry over real fast. Hey, B-man, boss, I'm not sure if you're involved in this. I'm going to try and put a stop to it, but can you and I talk later? I don't think we ever really established a way I can get a hold of you.
Oh, how about this? I have some time next time you're sleeping, and I'll come into your nightmares. As for this whole situation, it's just some new kids in town trying to show off. If you want to clean it up, that's your business. But, I don't know, I mean, the soul I got, I thought would take a little more advantage. And he motions to some of the broken, artifact cases and objects just sitting there on pedestals. But, yes, I'll be sure to evaluate you properly when you come to ask for your soul back. And he sort of walks away, directly into a painting of hell. Out from it comes the dwarf, who is just casually pushing and kicking and, burning away like zombies as you hear him storm through the Memento Mori room. Rose walks out, and then the bugbear puts out his arms, and she, hops into it, and he just, like a football linebacker, starts charging out towards the exit, and as she passes by, she looks at Claudio and gives him a wink.
I call out to her, Rose!
Don't die, little kitten! And, with that, you guys kind of, the 30 seconds have passed, it's time to reevaluate or double down with your plan. But it looks like things have gone poorly in history of animation, and these zombies are pushing out through Momento Mori. You see their undead flesh. There was a few mummies, skeleton, preserved body type deals. So you see these undead beings are dressed in very nicely restored traditional garbs of their culture. So some real nice looking zombies.
They are better dressed than us. Let's get them!
Let's get their clothes!
Okay, so you guys mechanically want to stand behind me, of course, but I can reduce damage if you're within 5 feet of me, which I feel that is information that I should share with you so you can choose how to let that affect your combat positioning and whatnot. But I also have to be real close to these enemies, so yeah, there's information for you. Yeah.
So a question for the DM. I have a grappling hook and rope in my possession. Could I perhaps, just rig something up and then shimmy up a good 20 feet so I'm out of reach of any undead nasties, and then just plink away with Eldritch Blast?
I love it.
Yes. Let's treat it like a thrown weapon, and we'll see if you can wrap it around like a beam in the ceiling or something.
Proficiency or no?
Are you proficient with thrown weapons?
I'm proficient in simple weapons.
I think that includes a dagger, and you can throw a dagger. That's close enough. I'll allow it.
All right. That brings it up to 19 then.
All right, that's good enough. So you, and it does the perfect, video game animation, wraps around 3 times, and then, you tug it, you're got it. This will be your movement. Give me an athletics to get up 20 feet.
All right, nobody please stare up the toga. Not that I'm self-conscious, but that's a natural 20.
Oh! You get exactly where you want to be in position, and I'll say a little extra icing on the cake. We'll call that grapple and object interaction, so you can still take 1 action if you would like.
Oh, actually interacting with an object would be an action.
Well, I was calling it a thrown weapon, so, But I don't know. Either way, you're getting to do it. Semantics aside.
Oh, all right. Let's throw the rules out the window, and I will use my action then to cast Eldritch Blast on the nastiest but most well-dressed zombie I can find.
Jealous much?
incredibly.
Alrighty, roll to hit, my friend.
Well, that total is 23.
That's going to be a hit.
And that is 3 damage.
Cool. So you blow a good chunk of one of these zombies away, totally ruining the tunic it was wearing. And, yeah, is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Well, I'm out of harm's reach. I have just destroyed someone's fashion statement. I would say I'm very happy with my turn.
Alrighty. Did we roll initiative?
We never did.
No, we haven't.
Let's go ahead and roll initiative. We'll call that, we'll just call it a surprise.
Nobody expects the half-elf hanging from the ceiling.
Well, yeah, to be fair, you
Inquisition?
guys were in
Oh.
you were in like a holding position, and then Sinclair just went like, whoop, and then threw a thing up in the air, so, you know, it was a surprise to even your party members.
Yeah. But I'm glad you did it.
All right.
Yeah, good move.
Well, now you can just focus on defending Claudio.
Yeah, Claudio. Woo.
Oh, that's actually a very good move, especially in a party of 3 with your ability.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just give me your initiatives.
10.
Dirty 20.
17.
Alrighty. It's going to go Sinclair, Jade, Monster, Claudio, and then the rest of the monsters.
All right. Well, for my turn, I'm going to assume that a 9 does not hit a zombie.
I think it actually does. Yes, it does.
Oh my. And that would be 9 damage.
So you blow fully through the one you hit previously, and your Eldritch Blast carries over a little bit, slamming into the next zombie, taking out roughly the same size hole as you took out of the first one.
Oh, most excellent. For movement, I'll just try and shimmy up a little higher.
20 feet's about as high as you can go. You're pretty much against the ceiling.
All right. That's as good as I'll be able to get it then.
Wonderful. Will that be at the end of your turn?
That'll be the end of my turn.
Alrighty, Jade, if you would.
Jade. Well, I guess this is out of character voice. Jade has a sword. Jade has a movement speed. How far away are the zombies from Jade?
If you shout, like, move, the beleaguered museum guards that are kind of holding them back can scoot out of the way, and you'll basically swap with one of them.
Okay. I shout, move! I run forward 30 feet.
Perfect. You get a better view of what the Hall of Death looks like, and it's not good. You see that there's at least 4 zombies crowding this 10-foot doorway. So, like, there's 2 zombies, you're shoulder to shoulder with another guard fighting, and then there's 2 more zombies behind them just clawing over, ready to attack. And then a, like, 10-foot tall minotaur skeleton is animated and, like, making the movements to howl, but no longer has the organs required to do it. So, but is, like, raging in the center of the hall.
As I run forward, I extend my sword, and kind of like a person diving into water has their hands out as the furthest part of them, the sword is the furthest part of me, and I'm diving not into water, but into their chest. I have a 16 to hit and 11 damage, as I am gonna shish kebab me some undead.
You fully do. You stab it directly through the first one in the line. You see, like, the milky whites of its eyes go, like, even more lifeless. And you feel the tip of your blade make purchase with the one behind it. Will that complete your turn?
That completes my turn.
Alrighty. One of the guards takes a not-so-good hit. The one next to you, Jade.
As they get hit, I would like to use my reaction to do interception.
Oh, please do.
When a creature I can see hits a target other than me, within 5 feet of me, I can use my reaction to reduce the damage by 1d10 plus my proficiency, which is 2. So I reduce the damage by 5.
Wow, you fully block the hit. Describe how you do so. You see the zombies gnashing out, like, both ards.
I'm holding a shield, so as I shish kebab with my right hand, my left hand shields the guard next to me. Or vice versa. I'm ambidextrous. Sure, why not? with swords and shields.
I mean, you've at least done this move enough times to where it's pure muscle memory, even with your non-dominant hand. So you block the hit for this guy, fully blocking it, potentially saving this guard's life. And, Claudio.
How far am I from the action? Not that I want to get close.
I would say about 30 feet.
Okay, I'll take about 2 more steps back, just for extra good measure. And I'll just let loose an arrow at because there's a zombie horde, right?
Yes. If you shout move, the injured guard will move out of the way and you can get a clear shot at the zombie.
Okay, so I'll tell him to like, dog friend, and then I'll take a shot and it'll hit for 11.
Cool. That hits.
Awesome. And then it'll do 8 damage.
That's a very meaty hit to it. You see you kind of like pin one of its arms to the wall.
That's for Rose.
Cool. So the zombie that Jade has impaled on her sword jostles its head, coming back to life, and will attack. Hitting and dealing 5 points of damage.
And my AC is 18, so that's pretty impressive. Okay.
The zombie that Sinclair downed remains dead. The one at the very tip of your sword is like pushing forward and like swiping around the one behind it, but now that it's newly reanimated, can't occupy the same space. And the Minotaur skeleton is charging towards the door, but like stops short of knocking the skeletons away. Or zombies, sorry. And then we're back to the top of the order with Sinclair.
So I would like to delay my turn to go after Jade. There's a reason for this.
Perfect. Jade.
I'm a little concerned that the thing that was dead and again, and then is not dead again. So I'm freaked out, I think. I'm not used to this and I don't like it. I'm intrinsically, like, at my core, repulsed. I want to kill it again. 5th edition doesn't have severing blows, but I want to cut it into little pieces.
Yeah.
Can I cut its head off? Can I cut its arm off?
I think it would make narrative sense because you've said you shish kebabbed it the first round. Just, you can pull up or down very hard and essentially sever something.
Yummy.
Okay. All right, so because I'm only doing 4 damage, I got a 21 to hit and 4 damage. What part did I cut off?
Which part would you like to cut off? Because it only had 1 hit point.
Ooh. I want to go down to cut it in half, right? Yeah.
Sure. So we'll say you're kind of like mid-chest in this zombie, and as you pull down as hard as you can, you bisect it, and like a pair of scissors, or it just slides both legs apart in a brutal, visceral split until its like torso just sort of flops onto the ground. Your blow carried over 3 points of damage to the zombie behind it as you rip through almost 2 zombies in the same turn. And that one lunges at you as soon as the position was moved, missing. So it just sort of pitifully flails at you, making no purchase.
The one that I killed again, I think it's died 3 times at least that I can count. I yell, and stay down at it.
I was going to say 2, but then I'm like, oh wait, no, the original one. Yeah, you feel like this one is not getting up from that blow. Your turn, Sinclair. Oh, anything else you would like to do? Free action, movement, Jade?
I've prepared my reaction to intercept if the person behind me is going to get hit, and I'm just going to glance back at me to see nothing's getting past me going into the orrery, right?
No, nothing's gotten past you, but Claudio did ask the guard to move, so he's like 1 square back.
Okay.
So on that next turn, the zombie's going to move forward.
Ooh, can I... No, I'll leave its melee range and provoke an attack of opportunity.
I mean, you can step 5 feet back and you'd still be diagonally. Oh, wait, no, you would.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to stand here, and
yeah.
if it leaves my range, I'll reaction attack it. Hey,
Okay.
there we go. So I'm not going to prepare a reaction. I can choose to use it as an interception or as an attack of opportunity. Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. So then, Sinclair, now take your turn.
Am I within 30 feet of Jade?
Yes, you are.
Wonderful. Jade, this should help. I'm going to use a bonus action to cast Sanctuary on her. Any creature that attacks you until you make a hostile action has to pass a wisdom save in order to attack you.
I feel like I'm a monk again. Yay.
And thankfully, that
Perfect.
spell's only a bonus action, so my standard action, I'm going to try and headshot one of the... How are the automatons looking from the other room?
You don't hear, like, a lot of commotion from that room. It just is sort of eerily quiet.
That's concerning. Well, in that case, I'll be attacking a zombie I can see. That is a 12 on the hit and a 4 on the damage.
Perfect. And that was to the one that was on the tip of Jade's spear, or the one that Sword, or the one Claudio had shot with the arrow?
The one that is... we are concerned about getting past.
That would be
Jade.
the Claudio one. So your bolt soars through its head, removing it from its torso, and splashes in a bolt of eldritch flame as it knocks into the one behind its chest.
Ha! Take that, you undead freak!
Somewhere Willie just got very offended. So will that end your turn?
That'll end my turn. I am not moving from this very safe spot.
Okay, so the one that was going to move died, so now it's Claudio.
All right.
Oh, hold on a
It's
second.
taken.
Actually,
Oh,
it
yeah,
comes
hold
back
on.
to life. So, it will come back to life and take a swipe at Jade. Missing. Go ahead,
Woohoo!
Claudio.
Oh, wait. It didn't have to make that wisdom save?
Oh, that's right, it did. It fails. So it just sort of like looks at you and longly thinks about the ancient civilization that it came from and what is this new world? Why have I been brought back? Was my afterlife real? You know, the things religious spells like Sanctuary do. You see like peace and contemplation and like a soul flicker back into this as a moment, holding it in place.
And an arrow then flies at it, hitting for 17.
Absolutely nailing it. It only had 1 hit point, so you send this thing right back to wherever it came from.
Don't bother thinking around here, buddy. Oh, sorry. Don't bother thinking around here.
We're fire-breathing kittens. We don't think.
Yeah.
We just do.
I let a room die like a minute ago, so I'm not gonna be like, no, I'm a master planner.
I mean, to be fair, people were exiting. You let the people paid to, risk their lives for the museum die.
Yeah.
We don't know how many civilians were lost.
We're never gonna know the exact number.
It's 6. No, I'm just kidding. But it should show to reason how bad that moth people is. That was a bad person with a very mean plan. Yeah, so Claudio, you nailed that one. So I'm sorry, how much damage was it? Did you say 7?
8.
8. So that means 7 would carry over to the one behind it with a carryover of 3 from the last one. You killed 2 zombies at once. What does it look like?
It looks like a kebab. One arrow, just... We're keeping the food theme.
Yeah, you kebab these zombies, and now the only one left is the one at... No, they had the reaction, so... Okay, Minotaur's gonna charge. He's held his actions for enough rounds, zombies didn't do it. So, Jade, that's going to be a hit,
Did it pass
and
the
you
wisdom
want-
save?
Oh, no, it didn't. No, it didn't. So you see this Minotaur runs in, hits the edge of the sanctuary, and then just stops and, like, slowly moves onto all fours and begins, like, grazing like a cow. You, like, for a moment, you know, he totally ran through that last zombie. Like, it's, like, quiet. The animation room is quiet. There's this Minotaur skeleton still, but, like, you're like, okay, no more zombies. And then you hear, like, a terrifying groan. And Jade, you're close enough to see in the room, like, a little, like, it almost looks like a trap door in the floor, but maybe like a service hatch or something, bursts open. And, like, a very meaty, purple-skinned, like, it's of a species or race you've never seen before. It looks almost elven, but maybe like a half-elf or something, but tall and built and, like, very hungry looking.
Does it smell like farts? I didn't use an action, though, but
I
I didn't use an
think
action.
the
It's okay if I
general
don't know.
vibe you've gotten is you're like, you don't know for sure, but stands to reason this is probably also undead.
Is it between me and my son?
You are between it and your son.
Okay, so it's in the room, the Memento Mori room, or the animation room?
Memento Mori. It came from,
right,
like,
okay.
underground through a hatch.
Ooh, okay. This reminds me that I am assuming that my son is in the end of a, you know, like the end of a string of rooms, but there might be something that like came up from underground and attacked my son, or like from the ceiling or a window. So now I'm like, tunnels. I forgot about those. One of my friends is in the ceiling. Where's Claudio?
I'm like 30.
He's
feet
behind you, like, about... Yeah.
How far are you from the doorway to the orrery?
I don't know.
I would say, like, another 45 feet, maybe.
So you just can't glance in. Okay. My, what is that called? Grappling hook friend. Up there. Hello. Hi.
Hello there.
Hey, Sinclair, can you send Malachi to check on my child?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
How are
If
things
he's-
down there? How are things down there?
Oh, this is a cow. I think it's only briefly Nebuchadnezzar. I might have to kill it. Thank you for that sanctuary. Oh, so good.
I've got one more.
You are very cool.
Let me know if it starts talking first, though. Then I can understand it.
Oh. I look at the cow.
It does not speak.
No talking, no mooing. It's just eating grass on his museum floor. It's very stupid.
So you send Malachi. I'll say he just does a double movement. He has fly speed. He's fine. Quickly flitting your vision in, you see that nothing is attacking the room, but that little goblin that was chewing on chairs before is, like, found a hatch and is, like, running off. And you see Zephyr, the girl that was with Sasha, is like, Sasha, stay here with the kids. I'll go get Glorbo. And she, like, runs off. She's like, no, come back. And that's all you can get from just that little snippet of what you see. Whose turn were we on? I think the Minotaur just went. That thing popped out. Top of the order. Back to Sinclair.
Your son's fine, but it looks like his lady friend and the furniture-obsessed goblin child might be running into danger.
Oh my goodness. It's like herding cats. Okay. All right. I'm like looking at a minotaur
Hey.
grazing grass. Well, Claudio, you're cooler than the goblin furniture muncher. All right. So, I mean, this thing's going to get over its sanctuary-induced Nebuchadnezzar in like a second. So, I guess I should cleave it. Okay. All right. Squish. There's the purple thing too. Oh man. Okay. What do we do, guys? Like, out of character discussion of strategy. You know how the DM called us not so good at the strategy beforehand? Do we chase the fleeing child, genuinely a school-aged idiot, and Zephyr, the college kid who's probably going to go die for the school kid, or do we stay here and attack the Minotaur and the purple thing? What do we do, guys? Do we split the party? Do we stay together? Do I just call after them? Stop running! But, like, the kid's still going to run. What do we do?
Well, I don't think they can hear you from here.
Yeah, I think the goblins in the floorboards. I think the best bet would be Claudio or I. Like, if somebody's going to try and save the kid and Zephyr, I think it's got to be Claudio or I, because you're kind of our bulwark.
Yeah, and I think I can do it just because I have feline agility, so I can sprint without sprinting, kind of.
Oh. And if you have a ranged weapon, which you do, you can non-lethally non-lethally arrow the kid to stop its fleeing, right? And to prevent it from running into danger.
I did it once before with a dragon, so...
Fire-breathing kittens, where we shoot kids with arrows for their own good.
We've done it before and we'll do it again.
That's a threat and a promise.
Some may call it child cruelty. We call it tough love.
Cool. So is that the move?
Yeah, I'll go try to stop them.
Yeah, you're the best at ranged. Thank you.
Initiative-wise, it is still Jade's turn, though, I think.
Actually, I think it's back to the top of the order, so it's you, Sinclair.
All right.
Did you just go? No, you didn't do anything.
No, I just forwarded the report from Malachi.
Yeah, so now is your turn proper.
Malachi, Malachi, let her son know that help's on the way for Zephyr and the Goblin. He'll forward the message. And I will take a shot with Eldritch Blast at the bull. I am going to assume a 5 does not hit.
Unfortunately, that will not hit.
All right.
Yeah.
Go, Claudio. Save the kid.
Save the world.
It'll be Jade's turn.
Jade has pre-rolled a 16 to hit, and I've got a Minotaur with its head lowered, and I know that cutting parts off works better than not cutting parts off, so I'm gonna try to cut its head off. Guillotine.
Awesome.
Does the 16 hit?
Yes. Would you like to smite or anything?
I wish I had spell slots, but I used them to investigate a statue. So, no smites.
That's right.
Just slashing damage with my new sword.
Cool. So how much damage was that? 5?
5.
Perfect. Your sword, unfortunately, just kind of clunks into the bone of its neck. And you're like, ooh, it's going to take more than one. And you see the ring around you dissipates. And this Minotaur's head, like, instantly snaps to look at you with, like, deadly intent.
Oops.
Cool. Claudio, your turn.
Okay, I'm going to sprint towards I'm going to use the feline agility to double my speed. So how far is it to get to at least, like, the dire situation of a goblin child and the other person?
You can get to the room this turn. You still need to get to the hatch and down the hatch. So it's going to take at least 2 turns before you're on the same floor as them.
Can I use my bonus action to dash?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Yeah, my speed is normally 30, so doubled with the feline agility, it's 60.
Yeah, and then dash allows you to do another 60, right? So you're at 120?
Yeah.
Cool. So, in, like, you made the joke about herding cats earlier. This tabaxi takes off like a rocket down the hall, bounds across, like, the orrery, and then literally just, like, leaps down the tunnel. So just, like, everyone's like, whoa, that cat is going somewhere. And you see that, like, clearly Zephyr has chased this little goblin down the hall, but now, like, you see you're in a network of tunnels. There's big wooden boxes with ancient artifacts boarded up for either transport or storage. And you see that there is this goblin leading this young woman to a, like, it appears to be a glowing circle of some kind. And give me a perception check.
God, it's another one.
Oh, yeah. It's glowing too bright and going like from like sort of a lit space to a dark space to now down here. Like your eyes can't adjust fast enough.
Okay.
And I believe you're out of actions, right? I think you still have a bonus, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh no, you use that to dash. Okay.
Yeah. Oh no, I use my action to dash actually because the bonus is a rogue thing. So.
Oh, that's right. So.
Yeah.
Okay, then we move to the Minotaur, who could not make purchase with Jade. It's smashing big hands and trying to slam its massive cow skull into your head, but you're dodging, weaving, and throwing your shield up. The purple creature is running up, also takes an attack at you, but misses. And you just notice, like, this thing is covered with, like, a fine powder. Back to the top of the order, we begin with Sinclair.
Well, I'm going to try and take a chunk out of the strange, rather grotesque half-elf thing. Does a 10 hit?
10 does not hit.
All right. Jade, how are you feeling down there? Do you need another sanctuary?
Okay, so in character, I probably know what the spell is. Or, yeah?
I would say, at least from what you've just seen, you know it breaks if you attack. So if he casts it on you now, you know, you're basically giving up a chance to attack. Or burning a spell.
Did they already try to hit me this turn?
Yes, they did. But
Okay.
So, yeah. You go next.
Let me just hit them 1 second. Yeah, because your turn's right before me, so if you bonus action me, then I hit him, so it's like useless. The way you delayed last time until I had my turn and then you cast Sanctuary on me was perfect, so yeah. I don't know how much Jade is aware of. Maybe she's just busy because she swings her sword, and with a 9 probably doesn't really hit anything. But I'm like, I'm busy, 1 sec. And I try to stab me some undead.
All right. If you're good.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So out of character, that spell wouldn't have an effect because your bonus action would happen right before my action, which would cancel it.
Mm-hmm. Well, in that case, I'm going to use my bonus action to try and throw a dagger at the purple thing.
Nice.
With my offhand.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And
roll it up.
Considering the range, though, it's probably with disadvantage. And with disadvantage, that's still a 22.
Nice.
That's a hit.
And that's a measly 3 damage because it's my offhand.
Lets out a very painful sounding groan.
I will be wanting that back.
Claudio, you are in the tunnels below the museum. And again, you see this goblin holding hands with this woman as they're slowly walking as it leads her towards this magic circle.
How far are they?
Can you use Feel Light Agility again? Or is that a once per day?
No, it's once until I move 0 feet on one of my turns.
Then if you could get up to them, but with a double movement, you wouldn't have another action. You would just have a free action or a bonus action. They're 60 feet away.
Okay, here's my idea, okay? I'm going to move my full 30 feet closer to them, right? I have 1,000 ball bearings, right? So can I grab a handful of them, right? Like a good chunk to just toss in front of them to maybe trip them? Like to just litter the floor, the path ahead of them.
Yeah. We can do it like this, where you can slice the bottom of your bag, so it's like they're all loose, and then you can chuck it like a thrown object, and then it'll hit and essentially do a splash effect of ball bearings. But you just gotta hit with an attack.
Okay. Alright, so any modifiers to this attack?
Yeah, I believe since you're proficient with simple weapons and stuff, right? Yeah, you're good. Go ahead and add your proficiency. It will be strength or dex.
Wait. So dex with proficiency?
Yeah. Strength or dex, because it's
24.
a thrown weapon. Perfect. So it lands. Let me roll saves. They both trip and fall. So
Yes!
they all slip on the ball bearings. You see this little goblin goes down, she goes down. And that'll be your turn.
Can I just tell them, like, stop right there. You have to go back to the room. We don't know what's going on out here.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay, a 19.
Pretty good. So this goblin kind of like looks at her, and you see this goblin looks weird. It's like moving with the sort of like purpose that like a little goblin kid should not be moving with. And it goes like,
Uh-oh.
no, come on, we'll be safer. Here, just come with me. And like the girl kind of like, you both rolled a 19 actually. So she's not going to move in either direction, but you're both kind of like tugging her equal ways. And she's like, what? No, I don't, how'd I get down here? And,
Yeah.
we return to the surface, as the Minotaur swung and hit, dealing 9 points of damage as it slams its head into you.
Oh my goodness, I have 2 hit points.
Oh!
Lucky the big purple thing missed.
Yeah.
Top of the order, Sinclair.
I'll delay my action.
Jade, if you would.
With a 21 to hit, I'm gonna try to... So this is my swing. It's sideways through the torsos, since they're both standing next to one another in the hallway. 21 to hit, only 4 damage, though.
You crack through this Minotaur's rib cage, taking out a good chunk of it. It does not drop it. It's on death's door, and your blade just stops short of this purple screaming zombie. Sinclair, your turn.
Jade, are you alright?
No.
Sanctuary! Stop hitting her! And I Eldritch Blast the Minotaur, because I can see that it's looking awfully wobbly, for a total of 19 on the hit,
Hit.
7 on the damage.
Alright. How do you drop it?
My Eldritch Blast, it looks as though it's a playing card, and I fling it and it goes in a wide, curving arc to slam it right in the side of its head.
Wonderful. It falls to the ground in a clatter, lifelessly inanimated.
Is this your card?
Oh, perfect. And it does slide through, knocking into the purple beast, and taking like a reasonable sized chunk out of it.
Alright, Jade, you got this. Finish it off.
Claudio?
Okay, before I take any act, I'm gonna try to just, Zephyr, please. It's really dangerous. There are zombies and who knows what else out there. Just come back to the room. Another persuasion roll?
Another round of competing diplomacies. Yeah, or persuasion.
16.
This is so creepy. So creepy. Like, the kid is like, come with me. Like, it's so creepy.
Super creepy.
You see she kind of like backs away. She goes to get on her feet. She wobbles over the marbles again and falls down. And you see this goblin turns, and as it's turning, its body extends and sort of morphs into one of these moth-like creatures like I described before. This one, you would guess younger, like more lithe, thinner, and it looks back at Zephyr and says, "It's okay. I'll come back one night and we'll play again." And then it steps into this circle.
Oh, that's so creepy!
She just bursts into tears.
Oh, gosh.
That was technically a free action, so you still have your movement and regular action.
So it's gone, right?
It's gone, but this weird circle is still there.
Okay. Okay, first, help me collect as many of these balls. They're not cheap, okay? I need to kind of... come on. They were useful once. I think they'll be useful again. But after that, let's kind of go away from that weird circle thing and back into the room. Because I don't know if you're creeped out, but that was really weird. Goblin boy eating furniture turned into moth thing. I don't know if I can take any more of that. So I just kind of, instructor to help me gather some ball bearings before we head back into the room.
I've never been more grateful to be being attacked by a zombie minotaur.
So she, is kind of on her hands and knees and is just trying to, through, sort of sobs, okay, if I just pick up the ball bearings, that's focusing not about what happened. And she sort of slips, a bunch of them go rolling away, knocking into the circle, and you see, a light switch. Boom. It loses all color and light. As your eyes sort of adjust and you look, it's this weird sort of powder in a circle, and one of these ball bearings just broke the circle.
Okay.
That being said, that'll end your turn probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
You help her get to her feet, of course, and, go up together. Yeah. All right. Monsters attack. Minotaur luckily misses this time. Oh my goodness.
Don't forget about the wisdom saving throw.
You probably can't see it. This zombie, digs its hand right at your chest. Oh, wait, no. Sanctuary's up. I shouldn't have even rolled those.
Hey! Woo!
So, Minotaur did pass, rerolling attack. That's a miss. So, you, skate by, but the Minotaur has broken the Sanctuary spell. Top of the order, Sinclair.
All right. Well, I rolled an 18 on my Eldritch Blast hit. I'm targeting Strange Purple Thing, because I need that dagger back, and I don't think it's going to return it while it's alive.
That's a hit.
And that is an 8 on the damage.
Oh, good boy. Exactly how much it had left.
Nice.
You said Purple Thing, correct?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. So please, do away with it. How do you do it?
Oh, well, card goes flying, and this one will take an arm off at the shoulder. I mean, if these things are possibly coming back, I'd rather this be disarmed.
Ha. I get it.
Its arm falls off, and unlike the previous zombie, its arm flops to the ground and then continues to wriggle and squirm, and you see it almost tries to go for Jade's leg, but there just is not enough life left into it and falls limp on the ground. Your big hit to this zombie did enough damage to it to where it cleanly blowed a limb off enough to where it could still potentially remain sentient. But this is no longer an issue.
Just to err on the side
Jade.
of caution, I'm going to throw a dagger. I don't like that arm.
Go ahead.
Well, disadvantage did me in. That's only a 12.
That unfortunately does not hit. So you just sort of clatters to the ground. Jade?
So, what am I looking at here?
Purple Thing appears to be dead, though it is a zombie and you know what those things do. The Minotaur has broken through Sanctuary, so will attack you next round, and it is not looking very hot. And because it broke Sanctuary, you're pretty much clear to attack it if you want. You also, just as a DM reminder, have Lay on Hands, I believe.
I do. It takes an action, so I'm going to do that after the... Because I have to choose to either do that or attack. So with a 15 to hit for 9 damage, if you've ever diced an onion, that's what's going on here. I don't like how they keep coming back.
Sorry, and that was how much damage did you say?
9. To both the Minotaur and the purple. Yeah. First the Minotaur until it stops moving, and then the Minotaur and the purple when they're both not moving. I'm just going to keep dicing. 9.
Yes, that is enough to cleave, and because of your particular strategy, when this zombie comes to life the next round, you are already mid-chop and just take its 1 hit point back down to 0.
Thanks.
Let's go, Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, you're breathing heavy, like, finally the din of battle has subsided. You're looking at these, like, regular zombies, this weird other kind of zombie, and, like, the floor is scattered like a barbecue joint at the end of the night with cow bones. What would you all like to do? Combat has been resolved. Yay!
Woo!
Jade's going around to corpses and double tapping you guys. You're going to have to interrupt her because she's got a mission.
Don't forget the arm. I don't trust it.
I split it down between the radius and the ulna.
Good call.
Nice.
I would have just severed it at the wrist, but you do you, girl. Also, please get the daggers back. I do it myself, but I don't trust the other room just yet.
Yeah, I'm retrieving daggers. Oh gosh, my son. Okay, after I'm done double tapping, like
Yeah, go to him. I'll keep a lookout. I'll let you know if I'm in danger.
Oh, well, I'm not going to heal myself before seeing if my son is alive, so, like, I guess I run... okay, question. Are there any sounds... Claudio's gone. Sinclair's up on the ceiling safe. Are there any sounds coming further from the animation or the Memento Mori rooms?
No more sounds from either room.
Okay, so then I'm not sure if Claudio's alive or dead. Sinclair, you seem pretty safe on that ceiling. I'm going to dash into the orrery to check on Claudio,
cool.
who I'm sure is not traumatized.
You arrive at roughly the same time that Claudio makes it up. You see first Zephyr comes through the hatch, and then Claudio after. She, like, runs, like, over to Sasha, who was... just like has like as you walk in you see he's got all the kids together and is like was in the middle of telling them a story to distract them and sees Sasha sees Zephyr and is like, what happened, where's Glorbo? And she just heaves sobs into his chest and he like looks over, sees you, and he's like, Mom, is everything okay?
Is anyone injured? My hands are glowing.
No, I mean, like, the Ori turned on, it was kind of crazy, but I found the power switch and turned it off.
That is strange. Claudio?
You're not going to see that goblin child again, because, well, he was not a goblin, he was some other thing, and he ran into some weird circle, and he was really, really creepy. Let me tell you, I think she'll tell you more about it later, but also, give me the ball bearings, please. Okay.
She's doing the thing where you kind of hold your shirt up like a little basket and just sort of like pours them out into your hands. Yeah, she has like one hand on that and like one hand's heaving into Sasha's shoulder.
Okay, I dash back out to Sinclair. He's stuck on the ceiling still. And he doesn't look injured, right? Sinclair, did you get injured?
No,
I'm totally fine up here. All's fine up here in the ceiling. You should come up here. It's great. Very safe.
I want you to regroup with us, but I also think you're very safe there. So I like that.
Malachi, do us all a favor because we're all frankly scared kittens at the moment. Check out the animation room.
Oh gosh.
And please be careful.
So you see that there is indeed like a couple of downed guards, none of them with like lethal looking wounds, but they see like a bird come in, you see like a little bit of movement in them, and as soon as like the bird comes in, you see animated swords come to life, like a carpet like rolls itself up and sort of lunges trying to grab at it, and your raven just goes in and makes a quick U-turn and flies back out, like noticing over its shoulder that like the animated objects, when like nothing is moving near them, also do not move. So like there's injured guards in there and they're just like, I'm just gonna play dead until someone comes to save me.
Oh.
Well, this is giving me very much vibes of that one Love, Death, Robot short from the new season.
Well, as this is all sort of transpiring and everyone's meeting back up in the Petrification in Red room, you hear the sounds of footsteps bursting through the entrance of the museum, And Ernst Lee, the director of museum security, comes busting in with the town guard, clearly in his street clothes because he was off for the night, and is like, what is going on here? Oh, more kittens. Like, noticing your guild tattoo and general, like, walking in while the whole museum's destroyed in a pile of zombie minced meat. Just like, this was not our fault.
You're welcome!
Another more formal looking guy comes in and actually is like, thank you so much. It looks like you've been through a lot here. Here's season tickets to the museum. Starts basically handing out free stuff to everybody who is, like, injured and scared.
Yeah, come back again. I know you love it here.
Yeah, no one's traumatized. Everything's fine. Ernst goes over with the guards and just slowly, methodically takes care of the animation room.
Oh, yeah, me too. I've got 10 individual heals of a point each to make sure nobody, like, croaks it. So I'm just gonna... 1 point for you, 1 point for you. You were unconscious. Gonna touch you. Nope. This point isn't doing anything. You were dead. Okay, next person. 1 point for you. Just walking around doing a touch each per head. Unless it's severed.
Does anyone have anything else they'd like to do while Jade is attending to the wounded and beating up animated suits of armor?
I would like to talk to the museum director and ask, who on earth was it in charge of vetting the performers here this evening?
Oh, I believe we used an outside consultant for a talent agency. I only met the fellow once, and he left a very good impression. I thought he trustworthy enough. You know, we had other people here directing the event. We assured it was in good hands with him, or were assured at least. Clearly we know how well that worked.
Were you aware that he is in fact, well, I don't know the best way to say this, so I'll just say it, an extraplanar, dull, insect-looking thing that's utterly terrifying if it takes off its meat suit, and orchestrated the whole thing about tonight's events and invited extraplanar, devilish and demonic entities for a business meeting?
I did not know that, no.
Okay, well now you do, and knowing's half the battle.
Well, I assure you, I will not be using him again.
I would hope not.
Thank you for your patronage.
Season tickets.
Season tickets. Here, you can have 1 drink coupon.
I feel like I earned 2. Because not only did I take care of your zombie problem, you know, I told you about the dangers of going with this unknown talent agency.
All right. Here you go. Don't go telling everyone I did this.
You want silence too? That costs even more vouchers.
Oh, you're bleeding me dry here, man. You're bleeding me dry. He gives you 4 drink tickets to keep you quiet, and then quickly shuffles away. Claudio?
While that's going on...
Any moves for you, man?
Yeah. While that's going on, I'm over there with the kids while Sasha and Zephyr are kind of, you know, having a heart-to-heart or whatever. I'm pointing at the kids, pick one kid and say, okay, pick a dagger. And I'm just doing the same routine with the kids all over again.
It goes for about 45 seconds before Sasha is like, What are you doing? No, put those away. But it was a very bright spot, 45 seconds in these kids' day that was ultimately very scary. It was cool
goal.
To see the Catman juggle knives. And as you guys come together sort of in the Petrification in Red room, Jade, you know, you like just sort of are walking in pretty tired, pretty bloody. You know, you've got blood on your hands, and you just sort of absent-mindedly brush against Petrification in Red again.
Oh, no. Nope. No. Yep. I brush myself right away. right off. I brush into it, but I'm unhappy about it.
What a long day. She just leans on it.
Yeah. Oof.
Literally. The blood seeps from your hand and into this red, porous stone. It quivers.
DM, I have 2 hit points.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
And it turns from this hard stone to almost like a clay-like material, and clawing its way like a man going through a mud-filled swamp. This feral human, clutching a dagger in his hand, steps forward. Out next to him, this lithe, young woman comes out next, both naked, slicked in mud. They mutter something in a language you do not understand.
Sinclair!
He lets out a massive bell. Oh yeah, do you want to use comprehend languages?
Sinclair, you said you spoke the tongues. Sinclair!
I do, after I take a bit of a rest.
I know.
Yes.
Okay.
Keep him around for an hour or so. What's going on?
It looks around wildly, says something in the language again much louder, lets out a bellowing, snarling beast growl, rushes to the wall of the museum with his dagger, slashes up, cutting it fully open with the stone exploding outward. The girl lets out a ear-piercing shriek that brings everyone in the room to their knees. No damage. And they run off into the night naked, slicked in mud.
Uh-oh.
Were we all in the room for this, or just,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Just Jade.
It was a real everything's finally over.
Jade, are you alright?
So now we know it was not petrified. It was in jail. And I let it out. I'm okay. You guys?
I'm great.
Thank you, Tony the Tiger. All right. That's a night. That's a wrap. We're good.
Yep.
I'm fantastic. I have retrieved both daggers. And you know how you said you needed to learn how to earn free drinks? We have 4 vouchers now. This is how you earn free drinks. It's a little more roundabout than usual.
And with that, drink vouchers in hand, the open night air breezing through this destroyed museum wall into the carnage of zombie blood and machine parts, we were brought this week by these following fire-breathing kittens. Sinclair.
Nothing like a gyssop on the rocks to end a day's work.
Claudio.
Pick a dagger.
And of course, our darling Jade.
It's my fault. But it's okay.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Listen to the Around Comics podcast every week for the not-so-latest news in comics culture. In fact, we don't usually have any news. Heck, we might talk about a comic that came out 25 years ago if it strikes our fancy. Even we don't know until we sit down. That's what happens when 3 friends get talking about everything from Marvel to DC, indie comics, TV, movies, and beyond. Come hang out with Sal, Chris, and Tom at AroundComics.com. And just relax for once, nerd. Search for Around Comics wherever you listen to podcasts.
What's up, everybody? It's Mick Manhattan, creator of theSceneSnobs.com and one of the hosts of the Scene Snobs podcast. We are a show that specializes in the absurd. We talk about the craziest of topics that revolve around the things that we love, like movies, television, pop culture, geek-oriented. It's so much fun. Whenever you join us, our first goal is to entertain. So always stop by, join in the conversation in the comments as we do our live show, or listen to us anytime after. But you are always going to have a great time. The Madman, my co-host, joins in. Perfect voiceovers. everything else in between. We have guests, celebrity interviews, the whole 9 yards. You will always have a good time at the Scene Snobs, so head over to thescenesnobs.com and start listening now. Take care.
Are you at a particular point in your life that you want to move on from, but you can't seem to get anywhere? Are you stuck? But what if it's easier to move on than you think it is? That's where I come in. My name is Dustin Gruss. I'm a certified personal trainer and life coach, as well as the host of Coming Unstuck, a Step Up to Greatness podcast. Whether it's my stories, tricks, hacks, or stories from others, will help you come unstuck and you can keep moving forward and step up to greatness.
If you're a fan of movies that are true stories, I've got a new podcast recommendation for you. It's called Based on a True Story, and it is the podcast that compares Hollywood with history. You'll learn from historians, authors, TV and film consultants, and sometimes even the real people the movies are based on as they separate fact from fiction in your favorite movies. Hear how much of the gangster movie Donnie Brasco happened from the real Donnie Brasco himself. Listen to the real history behind Downton Abbey from Lady Carnarvon. Laugh along with the real guys that the comedy movie Tag was based on. Get some extra stories from the production set from the historical consultant on the movie The Alamo. Those are just a few examples, so when you're ready to learn how much of your favorite movie really happened, subscribe to Based on a True Story in your podcast app of choice or find it at basedonatruestorypodcast.com. Once again, that's basedonatruestorypodcast.com.